All right, here we go. Sensible nonsense. We've been away for a while, but we're back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I got to use all time zones. We know there are Nigerians everywhere. There's Nigerians in Malta, there's Nigerians in Indonesia.
Good nights, depending on whether or not you're going home with somebody.
There's Nigerians everywhere, so I got to use all time zones.
That's right.
How are you gentlemen doing? First of all, let me introduce you guys. Today we have Kenf. That's my co-host for today.
Yes, Big Kenf NYC.
Big Kenf NYC.
Twitter, Insta.
Captain Lance Dmola.
That's right.
You guys in the army, you know, right?
Full name.
Oh, really?
My name is.
My name is.
My name is Roger. My name is Roger Rabbit.
And then we have Andy here, man. How you guys doing?
Rabbit.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
I'm good. I'm excited though. I'm
excited. Back on the show, right?
I know. This is actually my first time on the show.
Yeah, but you're gonna be here, so
yeah.
So
good to have you. Man.
Yeah. You know, I saw this guy at the Nigerian Day Parade. I was like, yo, what's good?
Yeah, that's how I knew.
Are you serious?
This guy, all these guys disappear because I know he has his duties. Everyone else has their own thing. Well, Kenf was always pushing. Every time I say, remember, was it 2016 or 2014? I think there was like a Nations Cup, and you asked me, like, to come host this to soccer this day. So it's always like wanted to do like this radio stuff, man.
Nice. I actually used to do it.
Right? I used to do Under the Rock, right?
Under the Rock Radio.
Oh, yeah?
I did that for like a year.
I think I've heard of that before. That sounds very...
Yeah.
Wasn't that weird? Remember a long time ago when we used to have our usual arguments at Tracy's and all of them. They used to have I think there was one time we called in a radio show.
Yes, I remember
and
that.
They're asking us some questions.
I remember that.
On the same
and
station,
we're talking mad
shit
on that
We're
thing.
talking mad nonsense. But that's what makes it fun, because they were too serious.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets on radio and starts talking, let's do this. So like sometimes you got to keep it like
you know me, I'm a master troll these days, so shit.
Even now you're a troll.
I troll more than fuck. Yo,
why do you troll?
Because that shit is fun, man.
Where?
Like just
Are
at
you on
school.
Instagram?
No, I troll in person. So
how do you do
the way I do it is I find the most like outrageous thing, but it's not really outrageous. So I'll give you an example. So I got this Dominican girl in my school. I mean, she's Dominican, so I don't need to say much more.
Hey.
So I walked up to her and I was like, "Yo, I was like, did you copy down the homework for today?"
Well, you're in school, right?
Yeah, I'm in school. Yeah. I'm doing Rutgers now.
What are you studying?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. I live in Jersey. I'm doing a part-time MBA.
Yeah. What are you studying?
Finance.
Finance.
No, it's finance.
Banking
and finance.
This is my banking and finance cohort.
So I walk up to the babe and I'm like, "Did you copy down the homework?" So I said, "I need you to find me 3 of your cousins." I said, "Aren't you married?" I said, "Well, yeah, but sometimes I like to have cousins too." So the babe was just like, "Oh, how could you?" and blah blah blah. But I mean, I was being serious, but I wasn't being serious.
No, but did you ask her what would she do for a green card?
No. She has papers. She's legal.
No, Dominicans don't usually have that problem.
No, they have that problem.
Cubans, they find their way into Miami somehow.
Yeah.
Dominicans, they find their way here. They never really have that
Shout out to little Haiti over there.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, you're like
Haiti over there.
Hold on. Were you like toasting on the down low?
Yeah, actually, I was toasting her, and then I was just seeing what would happen. You know what though?
You're just playing. It's not.
But have you heard that story?
Lance is
where
a charming guy.
I heard a guy, right? I don't know if it was on radio, wherever it was, and he says he goes to the bar, right? And he walks up to women.
It's not bar, it's bar.
He goes to the bar, and he walks up to women, and he just straight up says, "Look, like I'm here to fuck. He's just straight up. He's like, I'm here to fuck."
Here's the funny thing,
and he says it works. It works.
No, here's the funny thing.
He'll pick up 1 out of 10.
In the single days, long time ago, it's better to be hey, this is what I'm trying to do than anything else.
Right. Yeah.
Normally, of course, he's going to do that because, some people are going to curse you out. Maybe 4 out of 5.
No, he said he gets slapped. Half of them slap him.
Yeah,
of course.
That's a bad.
But he says he always gets 1 out of 10, guaranteed.
Yeah,
usually I think it's like 3 out of 10.
Wait, why don't you believe that though?
Because it's like, how you gonna just come up to a lady and be like, I want to smash?
No, but the lady wants to smash too. Though.
No, but he's respectful.
She doesn't. She's not just going to see.
But he's respectful about it.
Now,
he's respectful. He just says, "Listen, I'm here to fuck."
No, but she might respect. She might
That's
respect
respectful.
you. No, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Before
Good
we
evening,
go
ma'am. I am here to fuck.
Before we go any further, Me Too is real, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He didn't touch anybody.
Wait, no. Hold on now,
Okay.
because even if you're
going.
trolling wrong, you're definitely being overly aggressive.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
So
harassment.
there's a thin line between
there's a thin line
harassment
and,
and being
That is harassment.
straightforward. But what I'm saying is,
confidently trying.
I
Exactly.
disagree.
um,
I disagree. Let me disagree.
no, in
for
a
second.
sense. Wait. I'm going to give you two angles.
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
I agree with you in a sense because sometimes it just depends on the person that's saying
Well, yes.
it. Because if a babe wants to smash as well, she's
This is
going to be
true.
like, okay,
This is true. This
Cool.
is true. Yeah,
or I can bypass it.
this is
right?
true.
But if it's like you haven't gotten the signs or anything,
Right.
it doesn't make sense to start the conversation like that.
But hold
then
on.
you're
Yeah, that's-
aggressively
But hold on, though.
controlling
But
and
hold on,
entering
though.
into the Me Too
But hold on.
slots.
He didn't say I'm here to fuck you. He said I'm here. It's like me saying I'm here to drink. Does that mean I'm trying to get a DUI
But-
or drunk drive or kill somebody?
No, that's you can't compare that.
Hold
That's
on.
different.
But I'm giving you equivalence here.
He said,
The guy
he didn't say, "I'm
said
here
the guy
to
said
drink you."
all he said is like saying I'm here to dance. This is a good one. I'm here to dance. I didn't say I'm dancing with you. All I said is I'm here to fuck. I don't want anything else.
So
All I'm
you
here to
walk
do is
past
fuck.
and like, I'm here to fuck and are you
The line.
Well, yeah, basically, how do you feel about that? And if
I
the
mean,
babe
the-
says, go out on your face, then you know it's a no. You know,
well,
so,
I wonder what
That's-
his face looks
that's-
like with all the slaps.
I think that's a big caveman ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
it just
think so.
depends on the way
But
he
wait.
says it. So it's like if you meet someone, it's like, look, I'm feeling you, right? And this is what I'm trying to do. Is it okay?
I mean, me, I know I can't do that. Not in this era.
Hell no.
We can't, of course, we can't be living in caveman time in this Me Too era.
Well, there-
I don't even do
I'll-
like. Shit.
Trump is a caveman.
In
so
fact,
why not?
nowadays I give 3 meters of space. No matter how much
no,
green
that-
light it is.
wait.
you know,
Do
2
you know how
meters
much?
of
Do
space.
you know how much 3 meters is? That's 15 feet.
I know now.
Or
That's
9
what I'm saying.
feet.
Consent.
Like if I'm
Just say
seeing the chick,
consent.
like there's no, obviously there's no what you call it. I'm not, no, I have no intentions or anything. Just being nice, like meeting the girl. It still comes to my head, and I still give that space. Like, cause I mean, there's some things like the way we grew up, Andy. Like, we think like people are savage. Like the way we grew up in Nigeria, it was savage, man.
Even
Come
here,
to-
even
looking
here, there's
back
some
at
savages.
videos,
But
like,
Nigeria
the
is
kind of
still
things-
savages,
Yeah,
though.
it is, of course. The kind of things we unlearn, like the older we got here, like.
But you know what
some
though? Here's
things,
the
like,
thing
some
is.
people really think is their right.
But here's the thing.
I
Here's
don't
the
want
thing
to go
is.
into that
that's-
territory, but it's true.
There needs to be
Some people think it's their right,
balance,
man.
right? So, just speaking from experience, when I was single,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the way we've been genetically predisposed is that men chase women, right? So just think of all the women that you've chased in your life. It has to be just a very small bit of aggressiveness behind the chase. Now, obviously,
They like that shit.
there's the balance to where you're not
There's a thin
fucking
line between confidence and being
Wait,
an
hold
asshole.
on.
You're not Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I think you're entering
fucking
me
jerking
too.
off into a fucking
I said they like
No,
people
no.
being confidently
Like
aggressive,
jerking
like
off
you
into
just
a
said.
fucking flower
No,
pot
that's,
or whatever
that's,
it was.
What's his
CK,
name?
what's
Oh,
his
CK
name?
Lewis.
That got in trouble with what they call him,
CK Lewis. CK
But I mean, but you know what though?
His
Like,
was just complete. First of all, he missed one of the cardinal rules of this. Don't mess around with people at work.
No, but he asked her if he could jerk off in
Don't
front
do
of her.
that.
So what do you say to
Don't
that?
do sexual things.
Wait.
If you always bite you in the ass if you do sexual stuff.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. Hold
But he
on,
asked, he asked for consent.
would you
so
mind?
maybe she
Would
was
you
like,
mind if I tug this thing in front of you? Yeah.
Wait, so wait, I might have missed that story.
Yeah, he asked her
He,
like,
he was
hey,
in a
can I-
robe. He was in a robe, and he showed up, and then he opened the robe, and then he masturbated in front.
No, but he asked her. He said, "Look,
And what did she say?
I'm free. I'm
She
free
said she was
under
too
this
stunned
robe.
to say anything.
I'm free under this robe. Do you mind if I jerk off?" And most likely, she gave him the shoulder shrug.
Maybe she
right?
didn't say yes.
She
or
gave
no.
him the penguin, the Instagram, like.
She didn't say
You know,
yes or
so
no,
it's
but-
kind of like,
Hell, that's just disgusting.
Well,
Wait,
I mean,
wait,
listen,
are
hold
you
on.
a
People have
Pastor.
different fantasies.
yeah, like
whatever floats
no.
your boat.
I'm sure you have something crazy that you do, man.
We don't want to know.
Nah,
but
And we don't want to know, but everybody has something crazy. Like,
Well, but hold on,
something
but
like
not.
that.
I mean, but here's the thing. Like I said, is
no crazy stuff.
you know, like I mean, a lot of women, like I said, in my own personal
I saw one
experience.
of my guys. I said, "Damn, she has such a beautiful neck."
That's
I'm
what
like,
that's it.
everybody else looks at her. He's like a neck.
that one is a bit funny.
So to give a personal story, one babe, right? Me and the babe were, we're just doing guy and girl things,
Boju.
and the babe starts crying. Babe starts crying, so I stopped.
Hey, God.
Where was this in America? Or-
Yes, in America, I
So
stopped.
So you run now. You stopped.
I stopped. I was like, are you okay? And the babe was like, yeah, I'm fine. Continue.
Hey! No, I wouldn't.
So,
I wouldn't
well,
continue. Because,
Fortunately for you, I was 21. So obviously, there's only one thing in my mind, which is continue. So I continued, and
where did you continue to?
well, I'm not going to talk about that on camera, but
Where did you?
Bottom line is this: is that I think when you know, the definition of rape obviously has evolved over the years. You know, from beating the person over the head with a stick and raping them to what we now know now. So the bottom line is this: is when you raise your sons to, you know, be good men. For those of you that are already married, and then
Which brings me down to the question:
raise
like,
your daughters to
how old
fucking.
your oldest age, right? Let's
Yeah.
How old is your oldest? Okay, so
My oldest, she's 6.
you have how many? I'm 2, right?
I got 3, man.
3.
3.
Boys, girls.
Wow.
1 girl, 2 boys.
1 girl, 2 boys.
Oldest
Yep.
is girl.
Oldest is a girl.
6.
Okay.
Wow. Grow fast.
6 for
Yeah, man.
Like,
almost
'cause
2.
I always wonder, like, I'm just curious, like, you know, like Joe is getting, like, because I was watching this guy, they call him the therapist,
Yeah.
like, who interviews all this, like, rappers and stuff and tries to talk to them. And he was saying something about how people change, you know, like people divorce and stuff, because, like, every 18 years, when you get to a certain age, you change, like, your interest and everything. Like, kids change from, like, 1 to 7
Yeah.
to 8. So, obviously, like, your kids, they're starting to have their own personalities now,
Huge
right?
changes, man.
So, like,
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
how do you have these difficult discussions with them, like when they ask you about things
I mean,
like this?
well, I don't know if he wants to go first.
No, I mean, I think for now though, my kids are way too young,
young
to
to
start
understand.
having those conversations for now. But
But what's that age? Do you think when you start having those?
No, I think Joey's getting there. He's
it
8 years
depends-
old. He's getting there.
But
I
you
think
say your daughter is 6, right?
yeah,
Okay, so
but I think it depends on, well, first of all, my schedule right now to a larger extent revolves around them, right? Because Monday through Thursday, I get off at work, I'm heading straight home to do homework. So Friday is kind of like my off days. And then, you know, I mean, right, that conversation is still around cartoons. You know, so I don't, that's just the
I mean,
level of-
how about conversations that have to do not even like with the stuff, you know, they will obviously find out eventually,
Yeah.
like the sexual talk.
Like,
But I mean,
you-
like,
do you
imagine your
think
kid
Joe
comes
is
back and
watching,
tells you
X
like,
videos?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't
No,
say
just
he's
come
on
on,
X.
don't
No,
get
no, no,
into
no, no. It's a legitimate question.
It's a legitimate question,
Because hold
though.
on for a second, right? Think
True, though,
think
it's
about
true.
something, right? I was 8 years old 23 years ago, and my memories are still kind of very solid. And as an 8-year-old boy, you better believe that. I mean, did I really understand what sex was?
No,
No,
but your mind is
but my
curious.
mind was there. You know, I pick up the occasional underwear catalog, like, okay, this
Where
what's
were
going
you
on.
getting that from?
Well,
You
that'll
got
remain,
a stash.
that'll remain
no,
unsaid
no,
on
no,
camera.
because-
But what I mean is this. What I mean is this: is that young men, I think men come out of the womb sexualized already. What I mean is that
which is funny to say, right?
So-
Because even like some of my own first sexual encounters was with an older woman. So how can you say that?
well, hold on though.
No, I'm serious. I'm not even being funny.
Well, what
And
you
no,
mean, like
it-
what
it's
by
good
what I
you
said
said
that
that,
young men are
because
sexualized?
It's true
Well,
you
I
said
mean,
that, though, because a lot of guys,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking something different. I'm thinking of people who were, you know, there's people like who were molested growing up and they don't know.
well,
It's when you get to like your 10th and older, you're not thinking, wait, this lady was actually touching me in a way she was not supposed to be touching me.
But you know
Because
what
with
though?
guys, you know, everybody's like, oh,
But my
a
own
guy
was
is
no,
not
but
supposed to
my,
be
but my own
all that
was
stuff.
someone that's like close to my peer, like
Which is-
2 years.
Okay,
It
so
had to
that's
be
not
300.
that's
Yeah,
not
that's
egregious
So-
and
that's
outrageous.
not-
I
yeah,
mean,
that's not
So that
outrageous.
leads me to, I know V and I were thinking of some talking points,
Oh, okay.
right? So I think this conversation kind of leads me to the whole Wizkid and
Tiwa Savage.
and Tiwa
That man is on
Savage,
a roll with older women.
you know, conversation.
First it was Naomi Campbell and then Tiwa Savage. How old is she? She's what? 39?
Savage?
She's going to 39.
wait, Tiwa Savage is 39.
Wait, Wizkid is 39?
No,
No, no,
Wizkid
no,
is
I mean,
39.
sorry.
She is.
No,
she's-
Tiwa
she's
is 38.
38.
Tiwa is 38.
Yes,
She's
wow,
38?
Germany. She's not a kid.
That's
In
insane. I didn't even
January,
know she
she's
was
not
that
a
old.
kid. Yeah, she's been doing this thing for a while, man.
So I mean, what's your angle? Like, what is that a problem or? I mean,
No. I know the whole. I mean, it's not. First of all, it's none of my business.
Exactly.
No,
well, I
that's
disagree.
that's
I mean,
number one.
But you have the right to have an opinion. They
Of
put it
course,
out in
of
public
course I
space.
do. Yeah, of course I
That's
do
the
have
same.
an opinion.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
do.
I mean, looking at the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
he is a single person and he's a musician and he
Single
does
by
what.
what standard?
I mean,
In Nigerian single is very difficult. This is a man with 3 baby mamas and how many
but
kids?
that's
How many
different.
kids?
But
Oh,
look,
single by
you know what
standard?
I've always wondered. I've always wondered why
He's not
musicians
married.
get married. Right, that has always been my thing.
That's a good.
Well, because
Right.
they're human beings,
No,
like
but-
human.
I know, I understand the human beings.
Because I've asked that same question before.
I mean, he's actually right.
it's like me asking footballers. Like sometimes I ask
but he's
myself.
not married though, so it doesn't.
No,
matter.
he's not.
He's
Right,
not.
which is good. He's
Right?
not.
He's not married.
No. He's not. But I mean, with Wiz and Tiwa, there's definitely chemistry there. Do I think that they've
wait,
smashed?
How do you know there's chemistry? Are you judging by your video?
Yeah, I think that's a
By
shallow.
the-
That's
yeah,
a
like,
shallow.
like,
not
like
the
Nas been in
video.
Nicki
I mean,
video,
you
someone
can-
else's video, like a video vixen is like.
No, I mean you
But you're
just
judging from past, like 'cause
yeah,
there's always
just by the
been
level of
movements and the way
conversations,
they play
the
around
way
and
they
stuff.
play around, and I mean, come on.
Me, my only issue with that whole thing is like it's not even an issue though. It's just my only thing I'm thinking about is the guy T Bills.
Oh,
How
I don't even care
is
about
that her ex-husband?
Yeah,
but I mean,
What?
I
I mean,
don't know that
I
I
don't
care
think-
about him or not that I'm making excuses for him, but I'm
Yeah.
just me. I'm just wondering like.
I don't feel for him though in
No,
a
no,
weird
but
way.
It's like imagine this thing. Okay,
what's there to feel? I mean,
I don't feel for
I
him.
don't
I'm
feel
just
anything.
like,
broken up is broken
no, but I
up.
don't
Right.
feel for him.
Right?
But I'm
So-
looking at it for that angle.
Oh, that is
Imagine-
watching
imagine
his
you broke
ex-wife.
up with your wife and then one of your young homies. Like, you know, where you have a small boy under your wings in America that, like, oh, let's say you have a teenager that you advise
Small
all
boy.
the time, start dating your this thing. I
Well,
mean, it's not like they're
would you
really
ask
friends.
the question
It's
too,
not
then?
it's not like they're really friends with T-Bills or anything, but it's just like, this is a boy, like, he probably look at him like, look at this small boy that we're watching. grow
So
up in
okay,
Lagos
so
that year.
since I'm married, I'll tell you. So the way I feel about divorce is this, right? Is like, first of all, I mean, for me to get a divorce, like my wife's probably gonna have to be the one to leave me. Okay,
That's usually
there are very few things she can do to make me leave her, and if that happens, then listen, we'll come to an agreement. Like, listen, we got these two young men in the house. It'll be like a Diddy and Cassie kind of agreement. Like, don't bring.
What was even that agreement really?
Well,
All I
Diddy and
know is
Cassie.
that they left, but
Well,
what-
Diddy and Vanessa, or what?
she settled. Did he settle?
No.
She
The
just
bottom,
walked away. She doesn't want
Diddy
anymore.
takes care of all his baby mamas,
Yeah, of
and they
course.
don't date other people.
Clearly.
So let me
Wait,
ask
they don't
this.
date other people?
Nope.
How do you know that? though?
That is what the word on the street is.
But word in the street is different from facts.
I mean,
Like,
I
When
mean,
it
the
comes
fact
to
is,
Puff Daddy, I'm pretty sure Puff Daddy has enough money to
keep them all on lock.
keep all along and
I don't-
find
I
those
don't
facts.
believe-
Would you
I
go
don't
smash a
believe-
man's
Find
wife
those
that breaks champagne bottles on people's head? I mean,
come on, look, they've got the
Oh,
right
you
to
talking
live their
about Steve
lives.
exactly.
Nobody likes Steve Stout.
No, but here's the thing is, listen.
So let me ask you a question, and that brings a broader question. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about guys who have like 12 kids, 13 kids,
with different women.
with different women?
God bless
Can they
them.
take care
Well,
of
wait,
them?
in what
As
setting?
long as
Wait,
you
wait.
take care
Here
of them, yeah?
Well, like
Can
an
they take care
Abiola
of
kind
them?
of guy, or like here in America that you
mean a
pay
young guy?
85
No,
cents in
like-
child support every month.
No, like
Where-
You know,
Abiola
I
kind of
watched,
guy. Even Puff Daddy stuff. Do you understand? Bob Marley had like 11 to 13
But Mali had
kids.
he had two kids that are like a month apart. One is like a month
3
older than
kids.
the other one.
Or even look at Julius Irvin.
Here-
Do you know he has like 10 kids?
Are you serious? I didn't know.
Dr.
that.
J.
Yeah.
But listen, hold on,
Yeah.
hold on for a second.
But you
Mar-
know that's normal though. Going back to
Older
back
times.
home, you know,
Yeah.
back home. That
Like
was
all of
that
those
was the
different
thing.
families, I'm sure.
And
like,
I was
gonna
everybody
say,
has
it
more
was
than
different
one
time.
wife, right?
And then morality is
You know how many
morality
cousins
is
I have?
morality
You
is
and
relative,
Edo,
right?
man. Edo and you guys.
Ijo,
Edo
so
and
that's
Edo.
very normal.
That's
right?
normal in my family.
You know, it's
And I was
normal.
gonna say morality is relative. Like seriously, it
Are you
really
from
and truly is
polygamous
relative.
home?
Oh, 100%.
You know.
But my dad is not polygamous, but I'm from a polygamous home.
Well, your dad is not polygamous.
Nah,
But you're
yes.
from polygamous?
Yes.
How so?
Because my dad is just my dad and my mom, and then my family, the other ones have, you know,
Otherwise,
Also, you have
Yeah.
like you have like half brothers.
Okay, to
and
this
half
day.
sisters.
no, not have brothers.
No.
Oh, but just okay.
But I had a half sister.
So my point is
my
like
dad is just a bad dude.
so it's just my dad and my mom. That's it. But my dad's brothers, you know, and you know how it goes.
So it's
So that's what I mean by I'm from a polygamous family.
Even
but
for like
not-
my
not
whole
poly-
family
not-
as,
so you have
as,
uncles
as a
and
whole.
stick that
Yeah.
have so
Even on
many kids.
both of my sides, like my mom's mom.
What are you talking about?
Right, me
You get what
too,
I'm saying?
both.
My
talking
pop
about,
side,
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Felix? Or names here.
You know what's funny?
You know this guy's uncle.
We're gonna bring him on the podcast.
Yeah, we should.
We,
You know
we,
his
we
uncle
gotta
is
bring
uncle.
him.
Ifoma,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I want to marry you. Felix
I want to
Liberty,
interview
right,
him.
bro?
Actually,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how you say it, right? Liberty.
Yeah.
That's how you say
Yeah,
it,
Felix
right?
Liberty. Yeah,
Liberty.
Nice.
Yeah, that's his.
I want to interview him.
No, but when you
Yeah,
think
love
of when you
it.
think
Grow
about
up
it
on
though,
music,
right?
man.
Like there's so many women out there, yeah, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. So it's kind of like, that's a hard situation to kind of like balance. Do you get?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
My motto is, I think, for me, there's like, now that I'm married, growing up in a polygamous family,
Yeah.
It's not easy.
it's not easy. And looking at and seeing all those dynamics and everything that happens,
All the drama. And
all
that
the
shit.
drama, the stress.
Because it's always one wife's line is different.
Of course.
Then another one could be nice. The other one could.
I mean,
be
just think about being
somehow
married to
another
one
could be
woman.
mad.
Now imagine being married to 3.
And in the same house. This is how you know Nigeria. I mean, I don't know.
house.
But then again, maybe this is this kind of society though. But in the same house, and it's not even big. You see, Nigeria and keep 4 wives.
No.
in a
You know
three-bedroom
what?
house.
Let me tell you something. I saw a guy that did it right. Right, one of my friends in.
Is there any way to do it?
Yeah. Listen for a second. Hear me out. So this guy in primary school in Nigeria, I was friends with both of them, and they were both from different mothers. So when I go to their house was a 5-floor flat. So each wife was on each floor. The cool thing is they all had different consoles. So like if I wanted to play Nintendo 64, I had to go to floor 3. If I wanted to play PlayStation, I had to go to floor 4. So everybody was well separate. Every floor was perfectly contained. And the guy had it right. He had his own floor, and all the wives had their floors. So that way there's no fighting over kitchen space. Oh, you ruin my fridge, that kind of nonsense. This guy had it right. He had it. He got it right.
I mean, some people
Yeah,
like
right.
Akon. Speaking of which, Akon is in America. He lives in Atlanta, and Akon has multiple wives. Even though he never mentions the amount, but he says more than 2. But he says it like
he has a lot of
and he
religion.
broke it down. Like he said, it's his religion one, but that doesn't apply in America. How do you manage to
No,
pull
but
it
you
off?
can't say that. What about Utah?
He's not
All
legally
those
married
guys-
to all of that.
He's
America.
not legally
That's
married.
not
He's because
legal.
he's not legally married. You
Well,
cannot.
he's married. Maybe he married somewhere else.
No, he's not legally married.
He's not legally married.
Even in Nigeria,
Not
you know.
in America.
No.
So wait,
Not in America.
Well,
He's
even in
not
Nigeria,
legally
you're only
married.
married to one, and then the rest are just
No,
traditional
but,
marriage.
okay, how about like those what they call it, common law? Like if you leave,
It doesn't exist here.
No, I mean in states where
It
exists.
depends
Well-
on states.
What if you?
Depends on states.
What state?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Texas?
States like
Like,
Texas.
No, like
it works in Texas.
no,
I
New York.
know.
New York has
New
common
is
law, 8 years.
too.
No, New York.
California
Eight-
too.
eight
No, New York
years.
does. New York
What,
does.
8 years?
Most states have common law. I don't think any state does not
Nah,
have
but
common
it's
law.
the timing that matters because New York 8
You know?
years common. 8 years like that's enough time. People divorce in 5. But I'm saying like
People
just
divorce
in
in
5 or less.
72 days.
72 days. 90 days.
I'm saying like in Texas where it's 6 months. If you live with a woman for like 6 months, I mean, there's places where it's months. Like so
Oh wow,
What if
actually,
you live with
so it's actually common law is actually the it's the exception, not the rule
where?
in America.
What does that mean?
But okay, the states that actually recognize common law: Alabama, Colorado, D.C., Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, New Hampshire, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Texas, Utah.
Yeah, New York is not even
New York
there.
is
I
not-
thought New York was
No,
there.
New York is
I
not
think
there.
maybe New York has like a clause. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not
I
so
thought
much
it
so a
Yeah,
law.
but like, so if you take the case of Akon, for
You know.
example, right?
Yeah.
So
How do you think he pulled that off?
He's
What
not
do you mean?
pulling
How do you
jack
think he pulled that
off.
off?
He ain't
What,
pulling
like,
off
what he says
nothing.
he says they're living in his. They're living with.
yeah. So what's
yeah, it's
I mean,
possible,
I mean, even if they're
but
not married, living with those.
but in the
America-
eyes of the law, he's not.
I know a guy that had 2 wives here in a 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. I am not making that up. And he was a taxi driver. I am not
Right, it's
making that up.
possible. I mean, it's
I know
possible,
too.
but in the eyes of the law, it's
No,
not. They
you
just
remember, like
If you go to
a
jail,
lot
they
of
just together.
things are like religion based,
Right.
Or that person would have had to grow up in that kind of
Right.
society.
So,
to
right,
But he
understand.
said,
You can't just say, okay, I have,
"I'm just going to do."
you know, like.
But you know what he said?
She won't understand.
He says like there's something he said, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's a lie." When they asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, his brother could test." Like every woman he's met, he has never lied to any woman. Right? He tells them straight up, "I have other women," and the women are usually okay with it. But Akon has bread. This man had a gas station in his house, so I'm pretty sure a woman will be okay
yeah,
with that. you
I
know?
heard. I listened to that podcast.
I'm pretty
But,
sure. Like I'm like, but
Get his own gas station. That's the definition of rich. Like,
that's, I mean,
that is some other kind of
he
rich.
said he was in his stupid rich phase there, where he could just buy anything. Like he was just buying and just.
Why would
doing
he buy a
crazy-
gas station in his house though?
Why does Tyrese have his Starbucks and Benihana's in his house?
Wait, Tyrese got Starbucks and
And
Ben.
Benihana's in
No,
his
no,
freaking
but
house.
are
And
you
I'm pretty
serious?
sure he could find
Are you
2 down the
serious?
block. Yeah, that's what they
Wow.
were saying when he was crying about not
Guys
getting
going
work
broke?
with Fast and Furious.
said,
going
what
broke.
else do you
He's like,
want from
motherfucker,
me?
you have a big ass Transformers effigy or statue or whatever of you in front of your house. That costs bread. And then you have the Starbucks and
But you know what? Though, at least it's not like Gilbert Arenas that had, like
Wait,
sharks in his
wait,
house.
is
and
it
shit
like
that.
a
$40,000
functional
Shark Tank.
Starbucks with like
Like
stands
baristas
well,
and
I don't think he's selling anything, but he probably has someone there cooking his steak and serving him coffee. It's just to wake up in the
But
morning.
I mean, you know what though? You know
That's
what?
what they
If
call
you have
Monogamous
jollof
Road.
rice at
Yeah, but
Starbucks,
when you
it's
give
not
people, when you
bad
give a man, and I don't even want to say a man who has not seen one like, because Tyrese has been in the game for a long time.
Yeah,
so
he's
even
been
though
in
his
the game
career
for
I
a
say
while.
wasn't as big as the movies he's done, but
Yeah.
still, like, you shouldn't go crazy. But I don't know. I've never been that rich, so I don't know. But
You know what that is? That's what we call sensible nonsense.
exactly.
I like the plug.
Sensible nonsense. Exactly.
Makes absolutely
That's
no
what it is.
sense.
Some people think it makes sense. Some people think it doesn't make sense. You're right either way.
You know
But
what though?
regardless, it's
Like
sensible
morality,
nonsense.
nonsense.
sense is relative, man.
Yeah.
It's relative.
Honestly, because you remember humans always have
do,
that crazy
yeah.
things. It's like, oh, that girl has red hair. She's a witch. Burn her.
Basically.
And it was okay. No one said anything about
Basically.
it. You
Right.
get- You know, so it's like if a guy had 10 wives, it's like, oh, okay, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
You get it.
I mean, I don't look. You know what I'm saying? Like, to each his own. You know, if it's something that
Hey, spend that
So
money
wait.
as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Me, I'm okay with it.
So wait, so do you want 3 wives?
oh no, hell no.
That's headache. Man.
Nah,
No.
let me tell you
No,
something. No
not in a
fucking
billion
way.
years.
In this era, at this time, it's different from my parents. Look at all of us. Lair shaves clean. But the other day,
I don't have
woke
a
up
choice.
And I found white,
don't have a choice.
white beard here, the fresh.
I got
this
a
guy
few.
has some already.
Yeah,
Right
kinda
here.
cool.
Andy, I'm sure if Andy grows out his beard, he does. But I'm like, I see guys in their late 20s and late 30s going gray these days. I'm like, the things we go through.
And that's because of your iPhone now. Too much stress. You keep looking at your
Nah,
iPhone.
I don't even have an iPhone to start with. But I'm saying, like,
Samsung.
times are different.
Yeah.
Like, when our parents were getting married at like 24, 25.
23.
23. Imagine.
Yep, my
Because
mom
back
was
then, you
23.
just
Yeah,
finish
that's
school,
true.
you get something.
Yeah.
There's nothing to
Yeah,
no
like my mom was
distractions,
21
no
when she
Instagram,
Wow.
no TV, no video games, all that stuff. You just go out. You finish school, you go get a job, or you go take over your father's stuff. Whatever your father
Farming.
Go farm, take over your father's
But you know what though?
father's store or whatever.
Life was less complicated in
Yes.
many ways back
Be
then.
honest.
Definitely.
You
In,
know.
in every sphere of life, it was different,
It's
man.
much different. Like now, your life just. What happened?
I just saw that my
God damn.
What's that?
This is the cause of racism in the world. God damn it.
It said that's the,
That's
man.
crazy.
It's true. Though, I mean, in a way, I mean, we're not going to show the listeners watching this, that, but we know what it is. Yeah, yeah. But back to that conversation we started with, man, about kids and everything. It's like because there's a lot of stuff where, like, I grew up and I'm like, if my parents talked to me
Right.
about these things, etc., maybe I would have had a different view earlier
You know,
in life.
I have
than
a
I do now.
I have a theory about raising my children since I have 2 black men in my house, and I think you do too.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you too, like,
So-
even when it comes to issues like if your
No,
kid
no,
comes
but
and tells
two-
you somebody
two black
said
men.
his father said all Mexicans are criminals, because
Right.
kids hear these things.
No. And here's the thing is I
Sanctions
don't
and stuff
believe
like
in I don't really believe in shielding children, because here's why, right? Is they're gonna end up in society anyway, right? As adults. So what is there to shield? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, son.
So wait, you show
Here's a video of somebody.
Now?
Nah,
Let me finish. No. But what I mean is this: is like I don't believe in sheltering people. Okay, is exposure. If somebody said that to him, it's a hey, look, son, sit down. Like there are many kinds of people in this world, right? Is people will demonize other people for political gain. Understand that. Don't ever be on the wrong side of that, because race doesn't define a person. It never will, and it never can, because people have different personalities,
So let me,
regardless of where they're from.
Let me tell you about that.
That's the
that
conversation.
race will never define
After
a
that statement.
Race will never define a person. First of all,
Right.
That's a lie.
Hold on.
No, wait, no.
Okay.
Let me allow
Okay, go
me
ahead.
land now.
Okay, line.
The reason why I said that, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, we look at life like, okay, we're in this 2018.
Okay.
People should feel this way.
Yes.
They should be equal and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Which is a lie, because at the end of the day, it's like we're in the jungle, right?
Correct.
Tigers are with tigers.
Correct.
Lions are with lions.
you're gonna look out for your own.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And it's not necessarily, when you break it down to that format, it's not necessarily just race. It's like,
Okay.
okay,
Class.
how do I develop
Everything.
my own people?
Right.
right?
I mean, like
And at the end of the day, when you
themselves,
think
right?
about it, black
Right.
people are the only one that are behind on that because they're spreading their energy like, I want this person to love me, this person to love me. It should all be about this and that.
But hold on though.
So I'm missing the point of even
But
what's
hold on.
within your own
But hold
sphere.
on though. Hold on. I'm gonna challenge what you said there. So let's think about this for a second, right? This is a message I'm delivering to an 8-year-old.
Okay.
I'm not talking to a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to an 8-year-old, right?
Yeah.
First of all, his grasp of economics is vastly different from
course.
yours and mine. So for an 8-year-old, he needs to understand that personality isn't defined by race. Okay, and I stand by that statement. Is there are
Okay,
hold
now
on, let me
you- now,
finish.
you changed it a
Let
little
me
bit.
finish.
You
Hold
said
on.
personality.
Correct, and that's why I said race doesn't define who you are. Remember, I'm having this conversation with my 8-year-old son. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking
Wait,
to him.
is that a conversation
I'm
you're
not
having right now, or that?
Well,
is
You just give an example,
if
right?
I'm giving an example.
hypothetically-
Okay.
So actually, okay, you know what? So let me speak actually even personally. So I just bought a house in the neighborhood, right? There are 11,000 people in my town, of which 143 are black. Okay,
Neighborhood
So-
is that off air.
so in Jersey, right? So we went to the
I live
Halloween
in
parade.
Jersey too.
Oh yeah, so we went to the Halloween parade the other day. We're the only black people there, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. My son hasn't come to me yet ever because my son has gone to school in majority white schools for his whole life.
So he
Okay,
hasn't.
he doesn't have any
This brings me to a good
right to
conversation
him.
to ask you guys about.
He hasn't interacted with anything but that, and no one has ever said anything to him like, "Oh, you black bastard" or whatever.
Right.
Whatever people say to black people these days racially.
Nagger.
Basically. So if somebody ever said that to him, the conversation I'm gonna have with him is different. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And here's something that we as black people in America tend to ignore. And I was talking to my sister about this the other day. Is class and race, even though they're intertwined, in Nigeria you get a clearer view of class.
Racism, yeah, Nigeria
Right?
street classes.
So my example
It's in
is
Nigeria.
you know, my example is growing up, all my dad's friends were somebody, in the sense that they were educated,
Right,
professionals.
where the what they call middle class.
Correct.
Upper
elites.
middle class
Oh,
elites.
oh yes,
Upper-
Was there
absolutely.
even a middle class then in Nigeria?
Yeah, in the 80s
It was
probably.
bigger back then.
Probably.
Right,
Yeah.
it was
More
really,
than
yeah, the
middle
rich
class
and the
there.
poor.
So
do
so you
do you
understand
know
my
who
point?
I am?
Is
Exactly.
is
So you guys-
to my
exactly.
to my son, my young child. It's listen, son. Race doesn't define people. Okay, is if you have a friend and he's Mexican, who cares? If you guys get along, that's fine. Now, when he gets older, obviously, what I'm working at towards life is leaving him a legacy, especially a financial legacy, to where race might matter, but it really doesn't matter. Rant over.
Like class couldn't save Bill Cosby.
Well, I mean, Bill was guilty, man.
Even though,
I
yeah,
don't give a shit what anybody
And he
says.
still say he doesn't think Bill is guilty.
Bill is
I think
fucking
he was
guilty as
of
hell.
something. I mean, even
What do
if
you
it
mean
wasn't
something?
everything.
He was quaaludes the shit out of people, and he got away with it for a long time because of who he was.
So let me be honest with you.
That's fine.
You guys are gonna believe that only Bill Cosby was quaalude people.
I didn't
No,
say
Andy,
that.
but that's
Ah,
another
not what I
conversation.
said.
Andy, but that's another thing I don't like going into. It's like when people say, "Oh,
But what about
it's like when people
this?
saying don't arrest this person because other people are doing this. What
Right.
about this? It's like you
Guys.
can't catch everybody at the same
Well,
time.
well, hold on though. But hold on.
If you could catch all
Yeah.
criminals at
all
once,
of those
police
people,
won't have
all
work.
of those people are doing drugs.
Statistically
And
speaking,
Like, how does
women-
someone?
Andy, listen, when the first one came
How
out,
many
I s-
women have you benched in your life?
No, but I'm not going to give up.
but I'm
gonna
not.
give
I
60
didn't
women
quaalude anybody.
I didn't quaalude
I've never
anybody.
drugged anybody in my life to sleep with them.
And then even listen,
You know?
when two
So-
came out, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. Like everybody else. 3 came out, I was like, this
Yeah,
is
that's
rubbish.
too many fucking people.
5, 10, I'm like, okay, something is fishy
Yeah.
here. Then the whole freaking cover of Time magazine.
So
and
listen,
you
Andy.
think that thing is made up.
Here's what I can agree with. I can agree with the fact that black people get persecuted more or prosecuted more rather,
Yes.
and persecuted more than a white person.
Definitely.
Absolutely, I can agree with that. But Bill is
His own case,
guilty.
he is-
It's like OJ. OJ fucking did it. Anybody who thinks differently clearly doesn't follow the evidence. OJ got off for one reason and one reason only, because the LAPD were a bunch of racist pieces of shit.
And they jeopardized the whole thing.
That's how black
Because
people got
then
back at
racial
them. and
tensions
said, you
were
know
very,
what?
very high in America.
course.
They had to let the black man win once. You can't.
No,
that's
that-
Rodney-
no,
you can't
that's-
do Rodney
guys-
King
you guys
and-
don't- you guys
can't do
don't even
Rodney
make
King.
any sense.
Not
Wait,
Rodney
wait,
King
wait,
and
what do you
Rodney
mean?
King
What do you
and
mean we don't
OJ.
make sense?
Wait,
Okay,
what do you
wait.
mean they have to let a black man win?
No, no, no.
once?
You
That's
can't do Rodney
that's.
King and
you
do that.
don't
Do you know
make
the kind
any
of tension
sense,
that
man.
went
I'm
out?
confused.
No, listen, do you know the kind of
Has that
tension?
tension changed?
Hold on.
It
Let
hasn't
me
changed, but there it
finish.
was.
Let him land.
Listen,
Has
hold
it
on,
changed?
Andy. Let me
Let
finish.
me land. Let me
Listen,
land.
do you know what was
Let him
going
land.
on? Listen,
Because you landed.
Andy, hold on. That period, you saw the documentary. A Korean store owner
Shot a lady in the back of the
a
head.
little 14-year-old black kid in the back because she went to buy juice, which she was
Not
willing
in
to
the
pay
back,
for.
in the head.
In the head, sorry.
Back of the head.
Thank you for fact checking. But listen, that happened. the Rodney King thing happened,
Yes.
there was already racial tension brewing everywhere. Do you think with all this going and black people saying we're going to raise hell if OJ
Let
loses,
me
do you
ask
think
you
they were just going to
something.
persecute
Do you know
OJ
how
like
many
that?
times LA has burned in race riots?
We know, but
Andy,
Andy,
that's-
then it was a very critical.
Yeah.
OJ was not.
And
OJ
that's
wasn't a
sad.
nobody.
But
Andy,
Andy-
OJ wasn't a
Even
nobody.
wait, hold on, right? To take you a little further back. So, has anybody watched the King in the Wilderness documentary?
No, what's
Martin
that?
Luther
Damn,
King
we watched.
documentary?
Oh, yeah, I
at
saw
your house.
that. I
Yeah,
saw
we
that.
watched
At
it.
my
Yeah.
house,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
So even him, he went to California, LA, Watts in like what,
68.
68, late
60
60s.
something,
Late 60s,
whatever.
uh-huh.
He couldn't control what was going to happen then. So it's always been there.
It's always been.
No
there,
one
Andy.
said it wasn't.
Nobody said it.
No,
We
wasn't.
never
all
said
I'm
it
saying
wasn't.
is like you can't say, okay, that's the tip.
No,
But I'm saying
But
no, no,
that's
no. I'm
why-
saying, I'm not
Worse
saying
things
it's
were
typical.
happening.
What I'm saying is
Still-
Andy,
till
what I'm
now.
saying
And it's still
It's
till
still-
now.
Angelo, what I'm
still
saying,
going
OJ
on.
was a very important person at that time.
Correct.
OJ was one of the most popular people in America. You're just not going to go in the middle of all that race tension going on, and when people were already raising it, you know, the country was divided along race lines when that case was going on. You're not just going to persecute him just like that.
See, OJ walked free.
Especially
because
when you know the LAPD was
the,
racist. that
the
was taking care
jury
of that
the
case.
jury was tired of seeing like African American rights being trampled by the LAPD. That's the bottom line.
I was
They
still in
weren't
Nigeria
tired
when all
because
that happened.
I was still
No,
very
I
young,
didn't.
but
I
it's
didn't
still
say
in
it's
my
not.
memory.
I'm just saying that's why OJ went free.
Yeah.
And OJ's name being Veshimai Niega, he would have gone to
Did
jail.
you say nigga?
No, it's about me. But anyway,
Let's talk about what is his name?
Who?
PNB.
who's PNB?
Pete Rock.
PNB Rock.
No.
Muhammad Buhari. Oh.
Oh, you're talking about Nigerian problem. Listen,
Oh,
if we,
Jesus.
this is there, and
Where
this
do
is
we
where
start?
this is where with Nigeria say you don't enter gear. For me, because now this is going to carry on. Because if I begin to talk about
So wait,
PNB,
do you want me to tell my story about Miami?
Yeah,
before
please
we,
tell us.
before we
Okay,
go to
all right,
Kevin?
yeah, because
Okay.
we've been all over the
story
place.
time, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Let's go.
story time. So one of my best friends lives
That's
in
what
Miami,
makes it fun.
and we went to school together. You know, whatever. So anyway, this guy's supposed to get married in Jamaica. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. So he calls me and he's like, "Yo, man, wedding's off," and I'm like, how? Like, I'm looking forward to going to
Can I
Jamaica.
have that drink, please?
You know,
Drink.
I'm looking forward to going to.
Oh, never mind.
I'm looking forward to going to Jamaica, hanging out with you and your girlfriend. You know, we met, we liked each other. He's like, "Yo, man, wedding's off," and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, what happened?" He's like, "All right, listen, you know, I've been working at this hospital for the last couple of years," and I was like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Yeah, so this one chick that I used to mess with, I told my fiance like, hey, look, I'm I've been messing with this girl, whatever, this and that," and she's like, "Oh, fine, bring her, let's have a
That's your
threesome."
friend talking.
So the fiance says, "Bring the friend in, let's have a threesome."
That's a good woman.
Yes. So they start having these threesomes, right? So he notices that his girlfriend, his fiance, starts getting distant, ignoring his calls, taking forever to respond. Turns out, fiance and threesome partner are now in love.
Hey,
So
Wait,
she-
why can't all three
can
of
you
them be
repeat
in
that?
So why can't all three of them be in love? That's
so
I mean, we live in
she
a liberal
but hold on
society.
though. She breaks up with him, and they start dating each other.
Okay, so
Wait,
that's cool.
so your friend
Yes.
lost his girlfriend
Lost his girlfriend.
To someone that he
For a
brought
threesome.
into the
Yeah.
relationship.
to another girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
to the girl that to
And, but
the
that's
threesome
not
girl.
That's not bad as long as the guy
What do you
can
mean that's
enter
not bad?
sometimes.
No,
So-
he's not allowed to enter.
All right, so continue
They
the story.
kicked him out of the
So they
relationship.
kicked him
So
out.
wedding over.
Yeah, because wedding is done.
Wedding's done. They were like gonna get married. Everybody
No,
planned
but he
everything.
can't be
We're
mad.
going
Who
to
canceled the
Jamaica.
wedding though?
The girl broke.
No,
The
but
fiance
he
broke up.
can't.
Why?
No, but he can't. He
Because
dodged
she's in
the
love with
bullet.
the new girl.
He didn't dodge a bullet.
You
Like,
dodged the
at the end-
bullet. Will you marry a girl like that?
So you
He
get what
dodged the
happened,
bullet,
right?
man.
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay. So bottom
but-
line is, it's like saying that me.
They were in a relationship.
correct. They were engaged
They were engaged.
to be married.
Okay.
He was fucking this girl on the side.
Okay.
The fiance found out about it, or he told her about it. Like, hey, look, I have this chick on the side. Fiance says, fine, bring her into the relationship. Let's all start having threesomes.
God damn it.
So the fiance
I
fiance falls in love with the girl that he brought into the relationship, and the wedding's over and all that shit. So basically,
mean,
he lost his marriage because of
It's
his
a
own.
super story.
I
You know,
mean,
I laughed at him. because I was like, yo, it's funny.
No,
'cause
he
probably
dodged the
thought
bullet to me. Would you want
no,
to
he
marry
probably
a
thought he
girl
was
like that?
having
He dodged the
fun,
bullet.
and he was like, yeah, I'm getting all these 2 girls and blah blah blah. And now next thing you know,
I mean, the relationship in the beginning wasn't even
Wasn't
built on
going-
solid
yeah,
foundation
exactly.
anyway.
If you go, any girl that honestly, I don't want to say any girl that will let you do a threesome is not one. you're supposed to marry, because that will make me sound like it sounds very close.
Well, I mean,
sound
it
like,
depends,
you
but
sound like a born again pastor.
like
but
a
then
pilgrim
if you
that
look
has
at-
sex
if you look at it
with
from
bed
the other
sheets.
angle, if you look at it from the other angle, because some girls, no, looking at it from another angle, because there's some girls that
With his
say,
socks, with his white socks on
there's
his
some
feet.
girls that say I'm too selfish. Listen, because women in Nigeria are selfish when it comes to sharing things they love.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
Like, so it's
correct.
like for a woman to let that thing happen,
Correct.
especially when she knows the girl is finer than her.
Correct.
You
You know,
something is wrong.
You know what's
somewhere
funny though
there.
is my madam altered. She said that thing one night when she was drunk
Have you-
on
have
our
you asked
honeymoon.
for- what?
She was like, "Oh, maybe we could bring somebody." So, and I brought it up when she was sober again. Said, "Why would you ask me that question?" I said, "Just asking."
No, you gotta try sometimes because you never know. I mean, that's just my opinion though. But for some people, it might work. For some people, it may not work.
Nah.
Yeah, man. But
I
back
mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
back to what we were saying about
PNB.
PNB, man. I don't know. To me, Nigeria is on cruise control.
PNB is not the
It's,
problem.
it's
in
on
Nigeria.
autopilot.
PNB is not the problem in Nigeria.
It's not. No,
So what-
definitely not.
I
It's
beg,
not.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about this threesome
It's not.
conversation. Yeah.
It's
Oh.
not-
So how did she break the news to him?
So
That's what I
no.
want to
She never even. So she never broke it to him.
But she never broke it to him.
No.
Oh, okay,
So how he found out was that he would text her, right? And she takes so long to respond, like
but they weren't
hours.
living together.
They were living together. They were sharing an apartment.
Wow.
So he would text her, so she would take a long time to respond. So one day he went through her phone, and he saw that she was exchanging texts with this girl, like every minute, telling her, "I love you. I want to be with you. I don't want to be with this guy anymore."
Holy moly.
Yes,
Holy moly.
yes.
But I mean,
He's
no, hold on. No, I'm confused, right? Because you can't stop love. Maybe she's just in love. What
No,
do you do with that?
and he did the right thing. He walked away.
Yeah. you
Actually,
know.
I don't even think he
can't
walked away.
even
I
be
think he was
angry.
booted to the curb. They were like,
He had no
"You gotta go."
choice.
I mean, he can't really be angry.
It's his
because-
fault. I laughed at him. I was like, "Yo, that's funny, man." Because
No, but it's not his fault because you know what? It
What do
can
you mean it's
happen
not his
at
fault?
any time.
Hold on.
Right? So it's
It
better
is-
to happen
but wait,
before.
stop.
Right.
Do you get like
It is-
like
it is
he
his
said,
fault.
he dodged the bullets. At the end of the day,
It is his
she
fault,
could have
though.
met somebody that she was working with, and maybe it was a guy.
But hold on,
and
it
the
is his-
guy now be
no.
benching her
But wait,
at work.
hold on. It is his
Same
fault
thing.
though. It's his
Am
fault.
I right?
He brought
Same
her.
thing.
Right,
He
you
brought her
have-
into
you
the
have a point.
relationship. He brought her into the
No, it's
relationship.
better that he found out before, like he said, he dodged the bullets.
He
because
dodged the
Yes.
bullets.
At the end of the
Well,
day, she could have been walking,
in a
right?
sense-
And then she met one guy that's at her job that only benches her in the locker room of the bathroom.
So I don't have like
15 p.m. You get so
I don't have a strong opinion about this, and I'm kind of conflicted. In a sense, it's like dude wanted to have his cake and wanted to eat his cake.
Actually, I
and
used that
have it,
analogy with him.
right?
Yes.
That's number one.
That is correct.
You know, he's engaged. He's doing his thing. You know, he told the fiance, thinking the fiance would be like, "Oh my God, stop!"
Yeah.
But she was like, "Hey, you know, the more the merrier." You know what I'm saying? So she was like, invite her in.
And she just totally ruined the relationship.
The guy, but she did not ruin the relationship.
That chick is an OG though.
Didn't ruin it. Yeah. Didn't
I
ruin
don't think she ruined the relationship because I think she was probably genuinely in love with him,
Uh-huh.
and
Nah,
so
not really.
I don't think so though. I don't know about love. If you could live in for someone,
For another woman.
how
especially a
well,
woman.
How long were they together?
right? How long were they together
Why would
before
you
the
say that?
whole
Like,
thing?
are you
Four-
not
4 or
in
5
love
years,
with a
maybe?
woman?
Oh, come on! So they were
A woman
together for
falling in
4 or
love with
5
a woman,
years.
living in a
Same
man
Yeah, it
thing
was a
now.
while.
It's like a man living a woman for a man.
Same thing.
What do you mean same thing? That's another whole extreme. If she left him for another man, she left him
Listen
for a
now.
woman.
No, what I'm saying is, look.
What means
at
you
the
were
end of-
married
no,
to
no.
a
At
girl
the end
who
of the
had
day,
tendency
there are
to be
guys
in
that
love
love
with another
guys.
woman,
There are
to be a
women that
lesbian.
love women. Guys love women. Women love men.
I know.
Whoever you fall in love with is your own business.
But
That
I
is
know,
correct.
right?
true.
I
I
know
don't
it's
care.
true.
Like I don't care. It
I know.
doesn't-
I don't care. But
Right,
what I'm
that
saying
is
Andy,
true.
is like to leave a man to fall in love with a woman means if taking it like
No, that
to a whole
happened-
nother
no,
extreme.
that
No,
happens
you can't
too.
say it like that.
Yeah,
man.
that
You can't say
happened.
it
She
like
used the
that.
guy to realize how much she doesn't like men. She'd
Well,
find out how much she
it
doesn't
was
like
an
men.
No, she
accidental
doesn't
discovery.
like him.
She doesn't like
Like
him.
Well, a woman who doesn't like him would have jumped to another man, but she jumped to a woman.
No,
It means
but she
loves the-
fell
the
in love with a
tendency-
woman,
fell
not
in
a
love with
man,
woman.
though. Maybe she could have chosen both because at the end
It's
of
like
the
that
day,
movie.
Perhaps
It's like the
she
movie
wrote
Moonlight. It's like the movie
I haven't seen it.
Moonlight
watched
is
that
a very good film. I mean, people
Listen.
was going to form machismo and say I ain't watching no gay shit, but it was a good film. The guy
I
he
think-
was like knocking all the girls in his high school. The kid was the biggest film there, but
Where
one
it's
day
on
he
Netflix?
sat outside with a guy. It's everywhere. It's on Netflix, and then one night he fell in love with a boy, and then you know,
Hey,
he's a guy, and then all of a sudden they met each other some years later. You know,
You know,
serious twist.
Interestingly, for your friend, right? I don't think he was heartbroken.
No, he was. I'm
Let me tell you why-
I'm telling you that this guy was
I'd be,
fucking
even if I
hurt.
don't
No,
love
let
the
me
woman,
tell
I'd
you
be
why
happy
I
if someone
think-
left me for a woman.
Let me tell you why I think he
heartbroken.
wasn't heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because she did not fall in love with another guy.
No, but you
Nah.
guys are just thinking like old school.
You got to
Nigerians.
remember,
What do you
we're
mean,
talking.
Nigeria?
So hold on, we're talking
No,
like.
because at the end of the day, right? If she fell in love with the woman, that's who she was truly
But Andy,
supposed to
what
fall
I'm
in
saying
love
is
with.
like, do you
Not
just
something.
realize? Do you just wake up one morning and just see somebody and realize
Become.
you like men or you like women?
Become. If
No.
you fell in love with a dude tomorrow, can I now start asking you questions?
Yes.
Like,
And if I
I
fell in
want
love,
to
no, you won't
Like,
ask questions.
wait till
Andy,
it
you won't ask- you
happens.
won't ask
I'll say that's
no,
sensible
but
nonsense.
what I'm saying, there you go, another plug. But what I'm saying is this. Okay, if you wake up one day, it's like somebody waking up and just deciding. It's like people who say, oh, they went to they gay because they went to like all boys school,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. I'm like, wait, people who listen. I didn't go to all boys school, but I lived with boys all my years.
But here,
Andy,
you know what?
hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
So I went to school. It's like nobody ever woke up one day and say, "Oh, because we don't have pussy here, so let's go and fuck Emeka in the bathroom." I'm like, it doesn't start like that. It's like, so if you
Why
wake
are
up one
You're
day,
so wrong,
What
man.
happens in jail? What happens in jail?
That's what happens in
it's
jail.
a lie. Exactly. That's
what
my
happens
point.
in
That's where I was
jail.
going. People, it's a lie. People go to jail and say, "Oh, I was gay because I went to prison." You were already gay inside.
No, okay,
That's my whole point I'm making.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
but
that-
here's the thing, though.
She wasn't
Then we're
honest
putting,
with him. If
we're
you end up
putting,
falling in love with the guy, it means it was there
But that
somewhere
means we're
inside.
putting caps on who you can fall in love with.
I'm
You
not
can't
putting
tell
caps on
somebody
who you
like,
can love with. I'm not, Andy. But I'm saying
You
like,
can only fall in
no,
love.
Andy.
Right, that I
Andy,
agree
I'm
with
not
you.
saying
Right,
that.
right.
The point I'm saying is be true with yourself. If you like men from the start. Don't hide it. Don't try because
No,
a lot
but
of
it's
men
hard.
do it.
No, it's
a lot of men
different
do
though.
it because
No,
society.
it's hard. You
You know,
can't just
down
say
low
that.
men who try to get married to women. So society. It happens in Nigeria. That's even a
I was
case, because
listening
here it's
to-
okay, but in Nigeria it's very crazy.
I was listening to Howard Stern the other day because I have Sirius XM on in my car. So I'm listening to.
plugging SM radio?
It's fine.
Maybe they'll give us a day one of these
Exactly.
days. Listening to him, and then he was saying that, and which I think is true. In the early 70s and 80s, there was a lot of gay folks
Yeah.
who were actually married to women.
Well, there they call that a
It
bear.
still is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
You
more
know,
then because it wasn't
right,
as
well,
open
it was
as it is
right
now.
because it wasn't as open
As it is now.
back then.
Correct.
So I mean, there were a lot of them were still in the closet. But now they don't have to do that anymore. So and then at some point, they had to divorce their wife and actually
When he
be
became
with
more
whoever
open.
they wanted to actually be with.
It's like Kathleen Jenner. You think he just woke up? Bruce Jenner just woke up one day and decided he.
No, of
just
course.
wants
I
to
mean,
be
of
a
course he
He's
did.
been there somewhere.
Right?
Let me
That
tell you,
tendency
man.
has been
Let me
there.
tell you
Been
something.
inside
Let me
somewhere.
tell you something. As a man, to cut off your loaf, that's what
I don't
you really
think.
want to do.
Do you think Kathleen?
I don't know. I think it's so.
Caitlyn, Jen
Right?
did
If
that
you
or-
wear
I
a
don't
dress,
think-
you have to cut off your loaf.
I
Not
don't think.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not
talk?
necessarily.
No, you don't have
talk?
to.
What?
Do you talk?
All right, you're supposed to know.
No, but so let me ask you another question.
Well, hold on. First of
let me
all,
ask you another. No, at the end of the day, yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you can fake being gay.
Of
So
course
it's
not.
kind of like
That is true.
if you fall
Yeah,
in
you
love
can't.
with a dude as a dude,
yeah.
like you're really committed.
Having
Do you get
having
That's
sex
what
with a man
that's
is
what
very,
I'm
it's a
saying
very
about this. That's what I'm
disgusting
saying about
fucking
this. That's what I'm saying
So
about
I'm not.
this
I'm not gonna
situation.
downplay what anybody does, but I'm gonna say you have to be very
Yeah.
focused. Do you
That's-
get?
that's what I'm saying about
like,
this
Because
situation.
once you cross that line, you've crossed that
Because
line.
the story, like I said, it's not the
Do you
first
get-
time I've heard of that kind of thing, of a girl dumping a guy.
But have you ever been hit on though?
By a woman, yes.
That's what I'm getting. And he wears shorts. And he wears shorts. This short. You know a man has hit on you before. I've been hit on by a guy before. I always.
Somebody
I won't
grab,
like-
somebody
I-
grab your
okay,
testicles in
This is the
Atlanta.
craziest shit.
Somebody
Okay,
grab your testicles. In
somebody didn't grab my testicles. It was not always like, this is my like. I didn't even know what it meant.
Yo, stop hitting the table, man. You're
This thing is
fucking-
gone. Anyway, we're good with the video.
Okay.
I didn't even know what being gay was. I don't know if you
At
knew
that
what
time.
like,
Said, nigga,
yeah,
you
like
gonna
coming
tie
from
your
Nigeria, you know,
Right, come from Nigeria
back
back then.
I didn't know
Right.
what being gay was and stuff. So like, I don't know. I knew there were people that sleep with, but it's like it's so taboo. Like nobody goes into like
it comes,
deep
you
parts
have
of
a
it.
headache.
So when I came
In
here,
Nigeria,
like,
we had the term for it back then.
hungry.
homo,
No, not even that.
What was the term?
No, what was this in the? I think I should do say something like the shuku shuku you
No, but that's funny, man.
But wait, did you go to an all boys school?
No. Well,
you
that's
went
a term that you hear around the neighborhood.
You
Yeah.
did you go to Paragon?
I went to Paragon, yeah.
Because you guys used to beat us. I went to Benedium.
Oh my god, man, we should talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about
That's got to be one of the bougiest school
That's
ever.
why
No, but V is a bougie guy.
That's why everybody said
V will tell you that Benedict is not bougie.
No,
That-
but
that shit
V is a
taken.
bougie guy.
But let me say what I used to, because then all the schools I used to come used to call us Ajebo. But we used to
Well,
beat
'cause
them.
you
We used to
fucking
beat
are, man.
ICC. We used to beat Loman Christi. We used to beat all those schools.
Uh-huh.
In athletic. It was only Paragon that used to come. And last time I remember, they beat us like 4-1 or 3-1.
Yeah.
Football, man. So it was crazy, man. You know?
I was there before I left. I was their games prefect. That was when they started the whole.
Yes. I was even going to ask
football
you, like,
stuff.
because I was going to ask you if you prefer, because I was going to ask you, how did you get into, like, public service and, like, politics and, like, community service? Like, so somebody to just come, because you're the first person
Like that
actually
one is
that
for
I
sure.
know.
Really?
Like, I
That's
know
like
people-
heavily interested in politics.
Not interested, but, like, into it here. That is, like, Nigerian, like, raised. But
Really?
everybody I know else is, like, either they're born and raised here, or they're not really, like, as Nigerian as you are. Like, they're
Right.
not rooted like you're into it. You know what's
Right,
happening.
right,
You know
uh-huh.
what's happening here.
Right.
Yeah, like the first one that I really know. Everybody else I know of, I just see, but you're the first one that I really know that is really into.
That's
into that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I was going to
tell
ask
us
you. Like,
your
how did you
story
get
now.
into it, man?
Tell us your story now. Just us.
When did it start? Because you didn't
Is
just
there
wake up
much
one morning
story?
and just carry your bag and just say, I'm joining whatever party was there that time, or I'm coming here, I'm just going into this. Like, you have to.
How did it start?
You give them first. You have to start like this.
Oh, man, you trying to-
Let him give his story.
Back to memory lane.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe so. I did 2 years of high school here. You know, I attended Paragon,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I think I was going to my just thinking about even in the process of getting that American visa back then. Oh God,
That line
You
is
have to
killer,
suffer
man.
at Electro
Oh.
Crescent, so like the hell of
the soldier, the
Andy and
Koboko.
Larry Abdul, they
Oh
suffer
my
that
God.
when you go to Electro Crescent,
Yes.
you have to go and collect your visa. And that
I
embassy.
mean, we'll go to that area around 10 a.m. 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then by 3 a.m. that's when they start with the line.
Yeah, you have to get there like 5-6 in the morning.
Yes.
You line up there.
Even earlier. By 3 a.m. that's when
That's
the
when
line
the
starts.
and you don't get into like 10. Yeah.
That's if you're even lucky to get in.
You guys
but-
know the struggle.
So I was getting into I think SS3. I did my last term SS2. We get into first term SS3. So by then I already I got my visa, and so I was like, all right, there's no point going to school anymore. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's like, look, you get an American visa, you're about to bounce.
Yeah.
And what is the point of going to school? So I kind of just stopped, and I think after a month, I came to New York, started high school right away, and that was actually when I started learning about student government, because in Paragon we didn't have student government.
Definitely not.
Yeah, we didn't.
When they tried to do that rubbish once and give us like they call it parliament. You know the way you have blue house prefect, red house.
Yeah,
they want to
yeah.
Make like only
Well, it's
5
because
prefects
you
for
guys
one
you guys
house.
grew up during a dictatorship, so there wasn't any fucking.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any of the. So for me, starting off from shout out to Far Rockaway High School, by the way. A lot of
You
interesting.
went to Far Rockaway.
Oh yeah, man.
And
Oh shit,
That's,
that's
scary. One
fucking.
of the scariest places.
Oh,
I've
man,
ever- I
that
go to
place
Far
is-
Rockaway, I run.
That shit
When I
is
get
rough,
interested,
dude.
Shout
I run.
out
shit is
to
rough.
shout out to the Rock. I still got mad
The
folks
The
out
Rock.
there.
Now when you give area nickname, you know what goes on.
Isn't
Rock
that what
is
it
in the
was? The name of that
building.
rapper that they shot in Rockaway.
Oh,
There's
Stack
two
Bundles.
and Chinks drugs. too,
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
Chinks
I think we all. I think Stack Bundles and I wanted. I
We're
think
like in the same-
yeah,
yeah,
we're
because
the
you're
same
about the same
set.
age.
Yeah,
Oh, he was
same
that.
age.
How old are
Yeah,
you?
About the same age.
35, 36. About around the same age.
It's not sure.
35 or 36.
Is that your soccer
No,
age?
because
Is that your football age?
You know what the answer was? You know what the answer was when they ask Nigerian guys if they're married and they go something like that.
Hey!
No, you know, I
A little.
So my birthday is actually December.
Okay.
So it's a month. So you can kind of claim too. So again, but shout out to Stack Bonders and all those rappers out there that came out of Far Rockaway.
Far Rock, there's Stack Bundles, there's Chinks. Who else? Right?
Yeah.
But I just know Far Rock is bad. You know Chinks, the guy is killers, man. Over some stupid shit.
Something stupid.
Yeah, I
very
told you right.
small.
Like I think
No,
they had
crazy.
a fight in jail. It's jealousies. Usually these things
It
stem
is, man.
down
It
to
is, it
jealousy,
is,
man.
it is.
So yeah, continue, man.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
you know, and so then, so that's kind of when. So I was just fascinated with the idea of what student government was.
Yeah.
And you know, there was this cute girl who was president of student government at that
Usually,
time.
story usually gets there
Gotta
somehow,
be,
somewhere.
yeah, man. You know, but I don't think I even tried to talk to her or anything like that. But you know, she was cute. And so I kind of, I wasn't even involved in high school student government at that time because that was just rubbish. But I think I actually started in college. I went to Brooklyn
What college
College.
did you go to?
Brooklyn College. Shout out to Brooklyn
Isn't that what
College.
you- who went to,
CUNY.
did your sister go to Brooklyn? No, your sister went to
No, my
Brooklyn.
cousin went to Brooklyn College.
Oh, okay. So when I got into Brooklyn College, you know, I'm always gregarious and trying to get involved in things. And so I got involved in the African Student Association, which
starts from there, huh?
called WASA, West African Student Association. And so we were about to do an event called African Week. And so we didn't have any money. There was no budget. And so I was like, all right, so how do we get money for this thing? So they're like, you got to go to student government. Because I don't think we had the budget. Some of the clubs have budget, but I don't know what happened to our budget. I got to the student government meeting. I saw like 25, 28 people just sitting around a chair. Like, it was really a nice setup.
Yeah.
And so, and everybody is like sitting in the back. So my first question was like, how do I sit there? Like, how do I get on that table?
So
And so-
typical Niger stuff. You wanted
ambitious-
recognition.
Hey,
eh?
Ponty,
I
that
mean,
guy
like,
have ambition, man.
yeah, I mean, like, come on, you know, these are the guys that make the rules on behalf of the entire students.
True,
It's
true.
cool.
You should have a piece in that.
Yeah, so I'm like, how do I get to sit in the student assembly? So they said, well, you got to belong to one of the two political parties, you know. And so I ended up joining one of the parties.
You had political parties on campus.
Yes, yes. Shout out to USL, United Students League. I
Nice.
think it's still in existence.
Were they
And
giving you stipend, as they call it?
no, but
not
student government, we did
They're
get
not
stipend.
greasing
Are you
your
serious?
palms like
Those
just,
those positions came with pay?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, and then so again to,
I did not know
I was
that.
African
Yeah.
Student Union president in Westbury for like 2 months.
well for the regular clubs there's no stipend, but for the student union there is a
Yeah,
stipend.
I think they were giving in Westbury too. Yeah, there
Yeah,
was a little bit,
definitely.
yeah.
It
For, like,
takes a lot of
events and
time.
stuff, yeah.
It takes time. I mean, to cut long story short, somehow along the line, I ended up running for the entire school student government
Government president.
presidency. I got elected to 1 year term, and then I think before I graduated, I had to do internship. So the student government presidency itself is almost like a day job. I mean, that stuff is
In Westbury.
no,
In,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I mean,
yeah,
it's,
it is everywhere.
it's
yeah.
crazy. I mean, you know, it is. It's not a joke. Like you're
It's hard.
sitting
Yeah,
on.
they have to pay you. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
it's
like,
not.
every day you have to go to school. You have to read, and then you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you are like sitting on so many school committees.
yeah.
You know, you're having so many meetings. I mean, you know, it's tough.
So with the student government, were there like babes that came along with that? I'm just seeing
Asking for a friend.
Well, I'm
mean-
just asking whether you are getting your Bill Clinton on, yeah?
No, no, but I mean,
As you
you
should.
know,
As
you know, I
should.
mean, you know, when you have an interesting
I did not
pos-
have relationships with
But I mean, it was interesting though. Like,
No,
when I
but when
watched
you
it from the
have,
sideline,
when you have a certain position in school, you know, there are people who take notice. I mean, I think the first thing that changed for me was my dressing.
You had to become
Yeah.
more.
Pure Nigerian.
I used to.
Where you wearing pointy shoe and now jump.
No, I used to wear bandanas.
Bandanas.
I used to have them bandanas.
Hopefully not red ones.
And
What you say, blood?
Hopefully not red ones.
actually, no, I had red bandanas.
That's dangerous,
Yeah.
man.
So I mean, I think the day when I got elected, the next day,
Yeah.
I had to, put the bandana where I started dressing
of
like.
course, of course.
We used to wear bandanas. For
Yeah, man.
I can't picture.
I used
this
to
guy.
braid my hair.
I can't picture this guy.
I don't have
braid
hair
your
now.
hair?
Yeah, I used to braid my hair.
But why'd you cut
You
your
were
hair off?
yoke. Nigeria say you were dressing like a yopi. You guys say yoke.
Because at the age of 22, 23, I started going bald, so I had to
Like Captain
Actually,
scrape it off.
Actually, this is first of all, I was born with a receding hairline. Second, I've actually gone to go see a professional, and
Yeah,
the guy,
and how much does it cost you?
the guy, it's free. Wife has very good
Really?
insurance.
I was listening to Lou Baby the other
And,
day. He's cost like 30 stacks.
No, but he did it.
Little baby.
He did
baby?
implants.
Yeah.
The one with the fro?
He did implants. That's why.
Yeah, he did implants. yeah.
So mine, the guy
Who's the
prescribed
baby, the
a
rapper?
drug
Yeah.
for me actually.
He
Is he a rapper or a singer? I don't know.
I think he's a rapper. He got like a. You talking about the young kid or the young little baby?
I'm not talking about Baby. I'm not talking about Stoner.
No, you're talking about because there's little baby from Atlanta.
I think that's him.
He got like a. He has
No,
like,
not the one with the fro.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Doesn't he have a fro?
That's a fro? Nah, not.
Oh, not him. What happened? Like he got implants and
Yeah, he got implants.
Like when
And
Rooney.
it like fell out?
But when
Yeah.
Rooney
It
definitely
fell
got.
out?
These people say LeBron got implant, but I don't think LeBron did.
Yeah, he said
was
LeBron
born
got
before
implants
LeBron.
too.
LeBron's hair was like less. Now it's
I mean, Osama, a guy who he told me like because he had the same problem. He's
No,
like, LeBron.
no, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you do implants or you
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
doing
think
it.
so. No, whatever
okay, so,
makes
but
no,
what
I
will
don't
your
think
wife?
so.
So
what
I'm
will
not
your wife's
doing-
insurance do?
So I'm not doing implants. So the guy prescribes a drug. It's called finasteride or like
Really?
Propecia.
Protect
So,
her.
look,
You
I can-
mean-
let me
you-
even-
stop-
I'll show you a-
Stop sounding like an Englishman.
But wait,
Propecia.
honestly, you see, me, my
Propecia.
own. Do you know I didn't?
Oh, sorry, it's not Little Baby, it's Tory Lanez.
Oh, Tory Lanez, yeah, like Tory Lanez. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
now I get it.
Tory Lanez,
hairline-
sorry.
Tory Lanez's hairline starts here. So, yeah, because he's like, yeah, they asked him a hard
Yeah, I was like, Lil Baby, nah,
Lil
it's-
Baby like 19.
yeah, it's
Kid,
Tory Lanez.
yeah.
So look at the. Actually, you can even see the difference. It's only
And
been
it
like.
cost him 30 sacks.
It's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah, he said he paid 30 G's.
So look at this
he
picture
was,
here,
really,
right?
he was really sensitive about that shit.
That was taken on
yeah,
October
man.
18th, right?
Yeah.
Wow, look at
30
the
stacks.
look at the back of my head.
Hey!
But you know what it is?
Miracle,
okay?
bro.
Like, I didn't even know. You know who let me? It was D2. Like a hater, I was walking down D2.
That was 2 weeks ago, right? Now look at the back of my head.
What did you rub, Rogaine?
No.
He says this Rogaine.
It's a
He
it's
said
a pill.
Rogaine, they call
So
it.
no. So it's a mixture of 3 things. It's
Internet is mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you are an older millennial.
it's.
They call us
Ro-
millennials, but nowadays they call us what? They say we are middle age. Middle age is supposed to be like from 40, right? Or 45.
Yep,
But now you're 35, people call you. You know how I know I'm getting old? People don't tell me you look good anymore. These young people, they'll be like, oh, you look good for your age. you
look good
Now,
for
what the
your
fuck is that
age.
supposed to mean, man?
So
Ain't
wait,
that
so you don't have to
interesting?
pay any money for it?
No.
It's
You
free?
so okay. So hold on. So
Your insurance pays for it?
parts of it. So insurance actually sent me a letter. And
Did that in the network?
what? That's
They
Tory
gave
Lanez.
him
Let me see.
what's his name?
Oh,
They
shit.
gave him Paul George hairline.
Wait, let me see that.
But you know Paul George has an excessive hairline. Other guys have no. Paul George hairline starts from here.
That's not even headline. That's a fro bra.
You should give LeBron some. But careful, back to what I was saying, like about that stuff. So, are you a card carrying member of the PDP,
That's
or you're just a member with that card?
I'm not
Or you
a
jump when that ship capsizes. You jump like
No,
everybody
no,
else.
Are you an
You
Ajib
jump
guy?
to the other
Any
side.
government in power?
What they call
I'm
it?
not a
AIG,
card carrying member of any of the political parties.
Which I respect.
But I have friends
who are card
who
carrying.
are card carrying members of both political parties
Yeah.
in Nigeria.
Well, because
But I
they don't have
Wait, hold
ideology.
on,
That's why.
Oh, you mean you have friends who are both parties? I thought you were saying the same person in two different.
No.
Which is very possible in
I have
Nigeria,
friends-
by the way. For somebody to be in 2 parties.
Of course, I have friends in PDP and APC.
Okay.
A few of them are running for office actually.
So you're just now watching the political landscape without you're not a certified member of anyone yet.
Not yet
But
until
you're
I'm
tilting
ready
you're
to.
tilting more towards people, or you were when Good Luck was in power. Because I remember.
Well, if Good Luck had won re-election, I probably would have been in
No,
Nigeria
definitely.
right now.
Which is like me. I think Nigeria is a one-party state. It's just one party with 2 factions. Because in the words of your man, Honorable Obahiabon, What are the ideological differences between the APC
Did
and
you
the
read?
PDP?
I need to read
It's
something.
one of a tweedlet dumb and tweedlet deep.
I need to find.
So
Wait, let me
so
find this
let me
thing.
let
Oh
me
my
tell
God,
you.
this is so funny.
So you know my dad is actually a political guy in Nigeria, and
His dad knows about carpet crossing, jump from APC.
yeah.
to
So my
PDP
dad
to
started
APC,
out in
so he
Carpet
gets it.
baggers.
my dad started out in UNDP in 1996. 7.
Was that UNDP?
Yes.
UNDP is that them Shagarish party.
No.
From back in like 1970.
No. That was SDP and PPN, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he started out in UNDP. Then they merged over to AD, which was Alliance for Democracy. Then they went from AD to PDP because Funshaw Williams and
So it was AD Tinubu got his power from, right?
Correct.
Jagaban.
So actually, here's a
Jagaban.
That man has finished Lagos people for how many years?
basically. So they left AD to PDP. They're actually in PDP for quite a while, maybe 15 years almost. And then my dad left PDP. Went
What
back
formed
to
the alliance? It was
What,
AD.
AD?
It was AD and what party did AD merge with?
AD,
From APC.
um,
AD and what's the
UNP.
APC?
maybe, or one of the
It
northern
was AD
parties,
and
or
APC.
UNPP
Because
or
remember
something like that.
APC back when it first started, like
Well, AC.
99. It was AC Action Congress, and then
Yeah.
APC was
No, it was
All
AD.
APC wasn't even
No.
existing.
It
APC
was
wasn't
V. It was
APC.
AD, Alliance for
The
Democracy.
APC was mainly in the north when it came out first.
V was always AD.
It was AD,
Alliance
I
for
know,
It was
Yeah,
Democracy.
AD. Okay.
Yeah,
AD merged with another party to
and
make
became
it.
APC.
But you know
Correct.
this dude Patrick Obayagba. I was reading his
That guy.
He's,
what do you call it? His statement mourning the death of Tony Aneni.
oh, that's an old this. I know that.
No, this is new. This was on Monday.
No, but I saw Tony and then no.
Tony
I'm
Aneni
talking
died.
I'm talking of his. I was talking of he made one morning Empire Nahoro. That was like 3 years ago.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
this-
it
oh, you
was
haven't read
this
this
too.
then.
Is this
Oh,
real
man.
though? Because people always come up with these things sometimes. Yeah.
No, it's real.
Come on, man.
What?
Still,
What?
It is real.
this guy, you know you're on radio. But anyway,
He said,
hold on. Let's listen.
let me see. My sincere condolences goes to the family of late Chief Tony Aneni, who has gloriously transited to Empyrean ensconcement.
Ew. This is why I know people don't say what Begboa.
That's Webster's dictionary on tap.
Chief Tony Aneni's transition is indeed a colossal loss to all, as he was a great personage, not just to us in Edo, but the nation in Kabodo. He will be greatly missed for constantly promoting the good people of Edo State in highly exalted positions in Nigeria's political atmospherics. I mean, you know, I read this stuff, and you know he's running for Senate.
Again,
From Edo
but
State.
Patrick Obama.
Patrick Obama, he was two-term Senate. He was there.
No, he
House
wasn't.
of
It was a
Reps.
congressman.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
Was
he
he
wasn't
representative?
senator,
No, he wasn't
House of Reps.
No, he wasn't Senate. I thought it was Senate.
Yeah.
You know that's what they talk about. These people are crazy. Like, but that's the general progression. You go from governor to House of Reps, then to House of, and he became what's his name, chief of staff.
Yeah, Oshomole.
Oshomole, that one's the
I
other.
thought it was Shomole's chief of staff.
Sorry, I hate to say that. I don't know if he's
Oshobaba.
related to you. I don't know if he's anybody.
No, he's not related to me.
Well, Oshomole is a
I don't know
bastard.
him.
This man, I don't need to but hold on, let me tell you something. And this is what I
Oshomole is a
don't like.
bastard.
These are the views of Veshima Nega and Veshima Nega only.
Because this is what I don't like. You know something I learned? I learned somebody said this once. It's like in Africa, most of the
Don't look at the
it's like
interesting pictures.
no the cameras off. But it's like in Africa, most people who are oppressed, who fight to get there, you will realize when they eventually get there that they were just jealous of their oppressors. Instead of trying to save people, they were just wishing they were
That's
there.
a
Because
new
that's what
one.
has happened with Oshomole.
No, so
And it's true. Oshomole that was shouting NLC back then.
So let me tell you something
Same thing
about.
Mugabe. He drove us.
let
to
me
his
tell you
hero.
something
Museveni
about our
in
beautiful
Uganda.
Africa.
He had been president for 32 years. He started out.
No, let me
He's
let me
still there.
Revolutionary
no, but
leader.
let me tell you something
Yeah,
about
jealous of
our
their
beautiful
oppressors.
Africa. Let's just look as a whole, yeah. At the end of the day, everybody's forced to be like that because they haven't created a system for everybody. So at this point, it's anybody that can grab.
Let me give you.
No, am I lying?
And please, and let me get. This,
honestly.
this is a good point because it takes me into something. I will talk about Nigeria, which is one thing I think is one of Nigeria's biggest problems.
Okay.
It might not I don't know about Africa in general. I know some countries, but in Nigeria, there's something we have like that politics will not solve, policies will not solve. We have a national identity crisis.
Correct.
I don't
If I
think we
ask
ever
you-
had an
Wait, in
identity.
what
hold on.
sense?
Let
In
me
what
ask,
sense?
let me break it down. Andy, you meet a Nigerian person. If I ask you, other than the fact that you were born in Nigeria and your parents are Nigerian, what else makes you Nigerian? And then maybe you drink beer and eat meat on October 1 and you sing national anthem. What else makes you
Mama
Nigerian?
puts.
Listen, there are some people in some villages, I'll tell you in
Passports.
Nigeria, that have not had anything to do with government in their lives and can go their whole lives without having anything to do with government. They provide their own water, they go to the stream. They don't have electricity. They don't pay taxes.
Do you know what?
Hold on, hold on.
No, I can't argue.
Yeah,
with
they
you. I
don't pay
agree
taxes.
before
They
you
don't do.
land.
They don't do anything. So maybe the only authority they know is their native doctor and traditional ruler. But listen, when a child is born here, what's the first thing like you do when you get a child for tax purposes, for employment and everything? What do you get? You get the social security number. What does that tell you? It tells you America, whether you enjoy it or not. America is now your mom and your dad. We are all going to appease a common God called Uncle Sam. America is now your father and your dad. So, like, listen, you're in a database. Anywhere you go, you know this country is responsible for you, whether you like it or not. But in Nigeria, listen, what connects you to your
Unless you're brown.
well, yeah,
They'll put your
unless you're
social
an
security
immigrant
number
on
in
the
the computer
caravan.
and your life history.
it's there. But listen,
Comes
okay,
out.
like I'm telling you, there's people in villages in Nigeria that have never dealt with government. They're
course,
providing their
yeah.
own water, they're providing their own life. So how do you want to tell me a man in Amoku in Enugu State should care about a man in Adama when they don't speak the same language?
You
they
know-
don't deal anything in common.
No, but you're right.
That's
I
the
think
identity
even
crisis I'm talking
even
about.
the education
Femi
of teaching Nigerians about themselves, about
we
their
don't
own
even do
tribes.
that.
You don't even do that.
The syllabus we did in history in school, I'm sure it's still the same syllabus we're teaching now.
You know
Teaching
what-
about things that have nothing to do
What
with
you said
government.
earlier reminded me of what Femi Kuti said. He said that someone from his village who has never been outside of Lagos,
Yeah.
right, at all, that person visits Lagos Airport and will tell you Lagos Airport is the best
Best
thing
airport.
since sliced bread.
Yeah.
It's like the best airport in the world.
Yeah.
Because that is what that person literally knows and that's what they can see. But by the time they travel out of Lagos, right, and start going to Europe or America, and then they start seeing how some airport looks like.
It's true. The person from the village is not going to know better. He's going to think Lagos. That airport that to us is the worst airport in the world.
Right. If I even looking at LaGuardia Airport, we think LaGuardia Airport is the worst thing.
Wait, they take them to Murtala Mohammed Airport. Let them go and sit on
Wait,
one
hold on,
terminal.
hold on. Time out. Muritala is not that bad. They're
What do
actually
you
doing a
mean?
lot of
I've
renovations.
not been there in 10 years.
Yeah, no, they do
Really?
renovations.
I go there every year.
No, I was
Soon.
I was
How
there
long?
last in 20.
I was just there in January.
14, and
Yeah,
it looked
14.
yeah, it
But
looked
the
it
thing
looked
is, an
it
airport
looked
with
better.
only one terminal with 480 million people.
Yeah, but how many
honestly,
does it-
lights.
Honestly, even the
They take life.
even the local airport, the local airport is not bad.
I've never been to the local airport.
Okay, I've
Local
flown to
airports,
Abuja.
I
It's
would
not
think,
bad.
because from what I
It's not
see,
bad.
even some are very, very
It's
bad,
not
but
bad.
there are some local airports that are better. Maybe because the volume of people that go there is not as much.
No, but you know
as
Nigerians, we,
national.
No, but
travel
yeah.
every weekend.
I
We're
think we
going.
can
So
do-
that airport, the
Nigeria
local
can do
airport
better.
Do a lot
makes
better.
sense.
Yeah,
You
we
could-
can
no,
do
no,
a
we
lot
can do a
better.
lot
But there's
better.
the new terminal that Chinese are building though. Right there, the
So let me tell you something about the Chinese. Yeah, like all Africa is doing is trading one leader for another leader.
A worse one, actually.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because they're giving loans that no one will ever pay back.
China owns Zambia now, I think.
Yep, basically.
Yeah, because they couldn't pay back their loans.
Even look at
And, Mugabe
even
too.
look at Zimbabwe that doesn't have a currency. China
What do they
does.
use? US dollar in
They
Zimbabwe?
actually use
or-
things like Bitcoin. Do you know the
Well, I
inflation
mean,
is mad?
Well, their economic situation is horrible, but the bottom line is this: is like African leaders are making a very catastrophic mistake.
Oh yeah, of course.
And for their own personal gain.
Correct.
That's always now.
Correct.
You know this lady, your former finance minister, the lady with
In-
this
Oh,
poli-
the one that retired, the NYC scam. What's
yeah,
her name? Where they give us
the
British
one
accent.
from Polytechnic.
The one where they give us
Yeah,
British
oh my
thinking
god,
it
I
can
couldn't
solve problems
stand
with
that.
that.
Oh man.
What's her Adeosun, right?
Yeah, I
Kemi
could not
Adeosun.
stand that lady.
Where did they even
Jeez.
bring her from?
From Ogun State.
But she said she's England educated or whatever. But back to
She
what I
attended
was saying
the
about national
Polytechnic.
identity. So Nigeria, in the first place, was created to be a marketplace. It's true. It's true.
No, he's not wrong about
It was
that.
not created to be. Nigeria is still not a country.
It's for the
It's
interest
still not,
of
it's a
the
country. It's
British,
not a nation. It's a country
etc.
with many nations. Because if you think about it, listen, Nigeria existed since the 11th century. Kanem Borno Empire, Sokoto Caliphate, Benin
always
Kingdom, all
fighting,
these places
yeah.
were there, and
They
they
were
were
there.
trading with each other.
Yes.
No problem
Yeah.
until the British came and saw it's going to be easier to control these people if we have them together.
Yeah.
And make somebody in charge. We can take whatever. And listen, Nigeria is so blessed. We have one of the longest rivers running to Nigeria, connecting to the Atlantic.
Yep.
Which makes transportation cheaper for them. So all the things they exploit, they take it through the Niger and the Benue, run it to the Atlantic, and come back.
Wait, is that the Tinubu River?
No, that's
No, Niger and Benue River. Maybe
Tinubu,
I won't survive collecting money
Jagaban.
from those things. But so they came there.
I need
they
to
did
meet
their-
that man though.
Yeah, they did that. They saw it as a marketplace. That's why they arranged it in that way that things will flow in a way that's easier for them. So imagine you bring a man from Benin, Sokoto Caliphate, Kanem Borno, just jam them together in one place, and think they're going to.
That's called humanity, though.
No, Andy, but
That's
Andy,
called
listen.
stupidity.
When you bring humanity together, you have to make everybody benefit mutually.
No,
You know
but
what it is,
It
though?
wasn't to benefit everyone else. It's only to
Benefit the British. That's
it.
yeah, but so that's
you
why
bring
that's why
people to benefit.
that's why we're fucked
You
up. I'm not
understand?
blaming them for our problem entirely because sometimes we're our own problem, which is why I always say like to me,
No, but
Nigeria.
no,
to me, the
no,
problem in
but-
Nigeria is like I was
no,
going to ask you guys what's the
but-
first thing you would change in Nigeria.
No,
I was
but-
thinking it was
no,
light
but let-
situation.
No.
But even with the light problem, the same problem that exists now.
No,
the fact
no,
will
but let
still
me
exist.
tell you something, and I
Yes.
always
They
make
will
this.
still exist.
I always make this argument. You guys have to judge countries 300 years.
I don't know about that. I mean, you do that, but there's countries that are younger than us that are doing better.
Well,
But
before
look
you,
at their time, though. Like,
No,
for
but I'm
example,
saying-
even if you look at China's a.
I'm not
very
talking about
old
China. I'm talking
society.
about neighbors. I'm talking about Ghana. I'm talking about.
I mean, China's
I'm talking
not-
about Rwanda. I'm talking
technically-
about
China is
went
thousands
through,
of
and
years
Rwanda
old.
went
Yeah,
through
but
a genocide
technically
where
China is still
1 million people died
to
in
a
a
certain
100
extent
days.
poor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but that's why I
China's
said
still
you have to judge a country 200-300.
But before you get there,
Yeah,
so this,
but
this is what I'm
America's
saying.
even very young. They haven't even
I know.
had the run of like.
But okay,
British.
what I'm saying is
So-
this: like all those guys, like look, I'm not even judging. I'm not using that stick to judge before man. Compared to
But it's
America.
a very short
Ghana,
time span, though.
Rwanda went through a period
Nigeria
where
is
a million people
independent
died
when?
in 100 days.
But
Look at
this
what
is the
Kagame
point,
has
look.
done in Rwanda
Wait,
right now.
this is the deal.
Sometimes you need to.
This is where I think Nigeria. This is where they got things wrong. I think they got things wrong from the very beginning.
Of
Yes,
course.
I agree.
Right when the my I think my biggest problem with Nigeria is the fact that even the founding fathers were never really interested in nation building.
I don't think so. Yeah, you're right.
That never. I don't know if it was.
Well, it was hard for them to be because of the dynamics of the
And
country.
yeah, they
that
came from a
inherited.
different region, which is why I think Nigeria would be better if it stayed the way it stayed. Where like
Well, loose federalism.
loose federalism, true federalism they call it now. But because remember, like Western region, Awolowo was giving them free education.
Yes.
Things like that, like use your own resources. And your pops told me Sam Ogbemudia was governor of
Oh, yeah.
Ibendel State.
Of
He
course.
used Edo resources to tile all those roads.
Yeah.
He didn't wait for government. We can't have one small government. 180 million people depending on one.
But wait, you have
small
to.
central
But wait, you have
government
to
out there.
understand why that
It
federal
wouldn't work.
government. But hold
It
on, you
will
need to
not work.
understand why the federal government exists, though, is because of what happened after the first coup. So, the whole idea, obviously, with that strong central government, is that no one secedes from Nigeria because it doesn't benefit the
But
country as a whole.
the coup itself happened because of one, the fact this national identity we'll talk about that we
Right.
don't have, and two, because you know why? When Nzeogu and the other 4-5 majors went and committed that first coup in '66 and then the counter coup, everybody said what? It's an Igbo coup. Because they were mostly Igbo.
Right.
They didn't do it as an Igbo coup. They did it in the interest of the country. They felt politicians were using the money anyhow.
right. So that's the
But
that,
everybody said so. If a country was united in the sense that everybody had one common Nigeria, they would be like, okay, they are helping us. But Hausa people were like, oh, these guys killed our people, so we're not going to take it. Counter coup happened. Everything scatter. Since
So
then, we've been
there-
going
there
back
was
and forth,
the-
rolling around.
and I'm sure the history buff can correct me. The period leading to independence.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you look at the 50s, so I think from the 50s, right?
Yes.
There was
very
already
productive
that
period.
sense of we need our independence.
Yes.
No, but way before
From
that.
the British.
Okay, way before that.
Way before that. Yeah.
Because there was never any consensus.
Remember the
amongst
amalgamation of
the
Nigeria
tribes.
was amalgamation was in
Well,
1914.
well,
Right.
hold
So
on.
all
You
that
need to.
period.
So wait,
down
you
to
need
this, it
to.
would have been brewing all
So
those times.
you need to
yeah.
remember
it
what.
was
what you gotta.
never any.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
togetherness from
Well,
the
you need to
beginning.
understand what happens as to why it happened. So, after World War II, because the British are basically broke, they have to get rid of all their colonies. So India goes first in 1947. So because India goes, everyone knows inevitably it's only a matter of time before we get our independence.
Yep.
And then the first independent country in Africa obviously is Ghana. And then after Ghana, it's like, all right, we want our own whatever.
But Ghana got independent before Ethiopia.
No, but let's not even go that far.
what I mean
I'm
is
saying,
colony.
Okay, colony, yeah.
Because Ethiopia was never really a colony.
Oh, you mean the first British
But I
colony?
thought,
Yes.
Okay,
I thought
you're right.
Ethiopia was.
The Italians,
You're
like,
right.
they
Italian,
conquered
yeah,
it in the
they did,
30s,
but
but
it
for a
wasn't-
very short period of time. It wasn't
Yeah.
ever a colony.
no, but
Okay.
what I'm
But
saying
I
though,
felt like it was more of like influence of the Italian than the British stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't more. Yeah,
Do you
it wasn't
understand?
more like it wasn't like colonizing like they did us. It wasn't probably like it wasn't assimilation like they did like French colonists and British people. They made people adapt, take their culture and
exactly.
everything. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the French are the worst fucking colonial masters to have.
I think the
Belgians,
Dutch- I
Belgians,
think the
Dutch, and Belgians and
no,
Dutch
but
and
let's
French.
bring this back to Nigeria. What I'm trying to, I think my point is that
But wait,
Hold on.
wait, before you go.
Okay.
Like, and I'm gonna be quick so I don't break your thought.
Yeah.
It's just mad that we're having this conversation that you had a colonizer. No, just think.
everybody
about
had
it,
a
right?
colonizer.
At
Even
some
America
point,
had a
America had a
colonizer.
colonizer, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is that you're not able to break free of that, and you're still repeating the same cycle.
You can break. Look, that's why, regardless of what we think about America, that's why I love the founding fathers.
What of this country?
Yes.
I guess.
They looked
Yeah,
out
yeah,
for
let me-
themselves,
let me-
as every nation should.
But let me
allow
break
him
it
to
down.
land first,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
break it down.
Go for it.
I mean, these guys, this Americans, how many years now?
1776
1776
is when they declared independence.
About almost 200.
Yeah, 240
No,
something.
200 and something. So,
Oh no, more.
Wasn't
300, almost
248.
so 200 plus years.
Yeah, if you were born in 76,
So
you'd
you
be 40 years old.
so you're
right?
talking about
No, 48?
a
42.
group of. So
242.
you're talking about a group of people
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sat down Continental Congress 200 plus years ago,
Yeah.
right? And everything, and the way they envision the country being set up to a larger extent
But-
is the institutions that the setup is still in existence today, right? Those guys really, when Thomas Jefferson said that we hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are created equal and that we say inalienable rights among these are life, liberty, and the
Except if
pursuit
you're a
of
black man.
happiness.
You're not a human being.
Even when he was writing those
understand
words,
it,
he
yeah.
still owned slaves.
Yeah.
But
Those they didn't count in that constitution.
right, they didn't count them, but he said those within the top process of trying to get independence from the British. What I'm saying is that when those guys, the Continental Congress, were meeting and having those conversations to set up the country that we know now as America,
Yeah.
those guys thought and they think and put a lot of things for 200 years. The Constitution has only been amended for 27 years. They were able to set up institutions that are still working today. Regardless of what you might think of, and I didn't want to even touch this today, what you might think of Donald Trump, the American institutions are still working. Right? So to link that to Nigeria,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Our founding fathers, when they were fighting for independence, it was almost like everybody was fighting for themselves, as opposed to fighting for the collective whole.
let me tell you what's the
but
difference.
which is what-
No, let me tell you what's
And
the
that's
difference.
Nigeria too. When
No,
you're
no,
right. Now
no,
I get
no,
where
but-
you're going.
but let
same
me-
thing with Nigeria, everybody was fighting for their own, their
try.
own people and their own
No,
whatever
but
they stand for.
no, but let me tell you why that happened. Yeah,
Okay.
like even if you want to, let's just take a fancy word out and say, okay, it wasn't vision.
Yeah.
What they did have was consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Who?
do you know
The
what it's
Americans or the
The
Nigerians?
Americans. So in the sense of like, it's like, okay, we're gonna create something now. everybody at this table has conflicting interests. But it's like, all right, I'll take something from you. I'll take something from you. I'll take something from you.
Has to be
Nigeria, we don't do that because we
do
still
that.
feel like,
Because
you know what?
it's a game.
I'm
Think about
your-
ourselves.
Yes,
No,
that's
it's
exactly why
more.
everybody
It's
goes
more.
there to
No,
eat for their
no.
people.
I'm gonna even break it down even smaller than that. It's like, okay, I'm your senior, so I don't have to listen to anything you're saying. You don't have any good
That
ideas.
one's a whole other conversation we'll have.
For another podcast.
Yeah, I guess that's a good.
It's like, Leia, I senior you, so there's nothing that you can ever
can-
bring to
Did
this.
you see the video? Did you see the video about that guy who said he went on channels? I think he's not even in region. Listen, Leia,
Yeah.
Leia, this guy, Leia, hold on, listen. This guy is not even the regional. He's not the party chairman of PDP. He's the assistant regional party chairman. That's not even called regional. They said, oh, Mr. whatever his name was. He said, point of correction, my name is not Mr. It's Elder. I'm like,
Who had the
look at that kind of stuff.
Who had the app?
No, but that's the problem, though.
You're
You
right.
get-
Okay, but it's
so-
like everybody
so-
goes there to eat for themselves and their people.
No,
And that's exactly what's
no,
been
but that's-
going on.
That's killing
For years.
That's literally
Yes,
killing
every
Nigeria.
time. And
it's like you could be in a room, you're the youngest guy, and you're like, you know what? All of you people are not making any
a
sense.
man who says I'm not Mister,
But they
a
don't
man-
mind
Andy,
not making sense.
a man who
as long
says-
as they're your senior.
a man who
You
says
know
I'm
what I
not Mister,
hate?
I'm Elder. Do you think he will listen to somebody younger than him telling him how to run stuff?
In Nigeria, when you have an appointment with those oga at the top,
Yeah.
you have a 10 o'clock appointment. You
You
wait.
wait for 5-6 hours. You sit outside.
There is this guy and I think my governor in Edo State, Obaseki, and I think he's doing a good job, and
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Right, I did a little
Still
campaign,
there somehow.
of course.
Because he's the APC general party.
I did a little campaign for him here,
Yeah, I
right?
remember I saw the photo.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were hitting me up,
Recently, right?
Yeah, recently.
I saw the photo as well. In fact, I have it
Last year.
saved.
Right, so people were hitting me up and they were like, "Oh, are you looking into the administration and this and that?" I'm like, "Look, I'm not hungry." I'm like, before I met him,
You were already okay.
I had a job.
Yeah, you're not hungry. And that's the problem with
Right.
that's the problem with also give. It's like you're here, but a lot of people are hungry. There's a kid somewhere there. I'm telling you, like it's so hard. Like things are so hard, but it's also so easy to get. Look at this guy now in Lagos. They call MC Oluomo. That's the chief
I've heard that
tout
name.
of what's his name, you know. But I think on a good note though, this is a good way to end this, you know. So if you guys think we made sense, you're probably right. If you think we said nonsense, yeah, you're right.
Wait,
But
is
the
it
fact
time
remains,
already?
We
Oh,
talk
wow.
sensible nonsense on here, man. So
Yeah, I mean, I think this was the very first. Well, this is my first one, and the hope is that
this is the first one.
right. This is the
forward.
moving
Yeah.
forward. This is the first one. We're gonna try to bring in some guests.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, we gotta
Anything
set
you
up
want us to
the-
address, yeah.
we got to set up the email address. I think that exists already,
I
right?
think that
Okay,
is. I'll
yeah,
send it
because
to you.
so we can
Yeah.
read some listeners questions.
Sorry we couldn't plug anybody today. We're pressed for time. But if you have anything you think people need to hear about, people need to know about,
I want to
that
interview
enhances
Atiku.
humanity. Oh man.
Yeah, we got to. There's a few people that I really want to talk to, right? Have them outside of
Definitely.
their normal elements.
Yes.
Like
That's
I want
what we do here. You don't. People see people on TV every day
Yeah.
talking about the same thing. I'm pretty sure they get tired themselves going to 3, 4, 5 different radio stations talking about the
I
same
want
shit.
to talk
Gotta
to.
get people out of the
Yeah, there are a few people that I really like to talk to and interview. I want to. I mean, I don't know if I want to talk to Wizkid. I want to talk to Olamide, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk to Davido.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Tenny. Is it Tenny or Tiny? I don't know
Teniola.
how to. Yeah.
Teniola. Tenny is Nini Ola's sister. I want to know how too much talent runs. in
Yeah,
one
I
family.
know, right?
And and they're taking two completely different lanes and they're doing their thing in two completely different
Yeah,
lanes.
I want to talk to Simi Sola.
Yeah, whenever
You know,
they come
she-
around. So
yeah.
let Simi know, let Tenny know. Who else do you want to let Olamide know? We'd like to talk to them here whenever they're in New York.
There are a few.
around,
There
yeah.
are a lot of interesting people. Doing some really.
Yeah, because you know what it is,
Wonderful
like
things.
I always say this all the time. Like, when you see what social media did before social media. The only place you could get information that you wanted to hear about celebrities or people or interesting people was on late night TV.
Right.
You wait to get your 2 hours to see them talk, and they always talk about the same generic stuff. But now it's like you could see people on Instagram and everything. So people are hungry to hear people outside their elements, like you just said. So we got to get these people outside their element. Talk about normal things. People want to know what Atiku talks about. He soaks Gary. He puts the pictures on Instagram. He talks about whiskey. We want to know what people do in their element, know what they talk about, you know. So
Gary Soka.
But
Hey.
that's
Sensible
it for this week.
Nonsense.
Sensible Nonsense podcast. Sensible Nonsense at sensiblenonsensTV@gmail.com.
Thank you for having us.
Featuring-
If you have any
featuring, thanks for
questions or
having us.
anything, man.
We out.